Yeah, buddies, it's the Bennington Show on a Thursday. A Thursday in February is what it is. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
Your favorite band in the whole world, The Cars.
Yeah, my favorite.
Today. Named after an automotive industry out of Detroit.
Oh.
Cars.
I did not know that.
The Cars. Yes, that's part of what I like to call the classic rock genre of music. It's rock that comes from a classical time of Beethoven. Bach. But nowadays, for the founders, it's all about the EDM. It's about raising that fist. And Joey Jojo has a big story about that. It's up on the iBank today. What is it, Joey?
So Marco Rubio is really trying to identify with the youth vote. So he claims that he loves EDM music.
Well, maybe he does like it. What makes you think that he would not like it?
Well, he's young, so that's a pro.
But that isn't even a limit of why someone likes something. That might be the limit of why someone follows a fashion or a trend, but perhaps the man likes it.
But you have to admit, he does not seem like the EDM type. He definitely doesn't.
He's a hip-hop guy. He sits around constantly talking about hip-hop from the 90s. He's a 90s hip-hop guy. A lot of those guys have transitioned.
You think that those same guys are now... Because it's hard for me to believe, because EDM is
People who eat Molly love EDM. Oh, yeah. There's nothing you can do about it. They're the same kind of people who go to cartoons at 10 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? You're fucking high. You know? Maybe he just gets really high and enjoys it.
I think he likes to pop some Molly.
All right, so now you've come over this way, now you believe in him.
No. I said I think he likes Pop Somali. I don't think he likes EDM. Still, he just seems too much like a square. I think a young doll guy.
I can't imagine that he actually does like EDM.
You guys have no data at all, though, to come up with this, other than, hey, he's a Republican, he's a square. You're the fucking squares.
I'm a square?
Well, that's only because you're a square for fucking following Joey Jojo into this. But you got no information of whether or not this guy is big into this. I mean, he's from Miami. Yeah. They always have those big shows. Maybe he goes to a lot of raves.
You think he's actually gone to an EDM?
I have no idea. But why would I call the man a liar for saying he likes something? If someone came to me and they say, I don't know, I like this fucking TV show, why would I scream at them, no, you don't? I don't know.
But it's hard to imagine Rubio. Okay, just try to imagine Rubio at an EDM show. Does it seem like that is a possibility?
I can't imagine why anybody would be at an EDM show. I mean, if you're telling me,
a good point.
You guys are acting like EDM is fucking cool, I think it's dude bro douche. He seems like a dude bro douche to me.
I'm not saying it's cool. I'm saying it's hard for me to imagine outside of a very specific age group and type of personality.
Then you've never been to those shows, because those shows run all there's old fucking hippies at those shows. There's old deadheads at those shows. There's old Fish fans at that show. I seen a dude fucking Chris's age at one of those shows. You guys just want to like into this thing that what someone does means everything. First of all, you have to remember, none of those guys, for years, they never paid attention to lyrics at all. That's how you'll just fucking hear them playing Born in the USA without realizing it's kind of an anti-Vietnam thing. They're like, this is great. How do I know what the guy likes and don't like? I know that he's fucking constantly talking about Eazy-E.
I would like to see proof that he has gone to an EDM.
Why does he have to prove it? If someone says, I like Seinfeld, you don't have to sit around and do Seinfeld trivia with him. You guys are the ones that have to prove something. You're acting like he suddenly wants people to think that he likes EDM, which is douchey.
EDM is on every commercial today. Like every other, there was one commercial for Samsung that just had fucking EDM music blasting constantly. I think he likes those songs. I think he likes the commercial songs, and someone told him that's EDM. And so, yeah, okay, he likes EDM now.
I don't know. When I saw it, I took it as he's kind of behind in the polls right now, and he's trying to identify. And this, what better
But you
way?
haven't fucking
EDM.
proven that. You're the one who has to prove this thing. But instead, you're just doing the same thing of this dude's lying without having any idea about it. Do you listen to EDM?
I don't listen.
Then why would you care if he does? Why would you think that this would spike anyone in the polls? As if his fucking research people are going to go like this. We think you got to get behind this EDM thing.
Say you like Skrillex.
He also said he wanted to be a football player growing up. He thought he would be.
Who doesn't?
That's true.
I can't bring you into these conversations if you bring fucking nothing. For all I know, the guy could have said, look, when I was a little kid, I wanted to be a Martian. He was stupid.
Liar! Ricky!
I fucked up. Chris Stanley, what do you got today?
All right, so David Milch. There was a story that came out from the Hollywood Reporter. That's a long piece on how David Milch, who created NYPD Blue, Hill Street Blues, and Deadwood. His friends in Hollywood say he has gambled away $100 million throughout his career in the last 30 years.
In other words, he's had over 30 years, he's averaged a little over $3 million a year.
Yeah.
And he's broke dick now.
Now he's on a $40 a week allowance.
Who gives him an allowance? His mom?
Like his people or whatever. I guess his financial planners. And he owes $17 million to the IRS. And that's where David Milch is at right now.
How does he stay out of jail? That's what gets to me.
Yeah, I mean, the $17 million you should be locked up.
Now, you're a filthy gambling addict, right?
Yes, I am.
Why do something that you know you can't win?
It's this crazy chase. All right, I'll use the example of scratch off tickets just for this thing. I've never cashed in a scratch off ticket to get the money back. Say if I win $20,
no one ever does.
Give me fucking $20 more worth of tickets.
Right.
Horse racing, if I do hit, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to chase a bigger pot, basically. So all right, I hit for $200 on a race. All right, now I can really gamble on the next few races and really try to make actual money.
Can you imagine, though, do you think that if you were a millionaire, you would be capable of gambling at the same scale that is? Would you gamble as much to scale from what you have now?
See, there's no reason to gamble unless there's risk, right?
Right.
So just like if I said to Chris, hey, let's gamble every day on pennies, you know what I mean? Like two pennies on the game tonight, he's not going to get the juice out of it. So if you were Donald Trump and you were a gambling addict, you would have to gamble at a amount that would keep you a little bit freaked out.
Because that's the adrenaline.
That's where the adrenaline comes from. Not the chance to win, but the chance to lose.
So you definitely would be this type of person.
Yeah, wait a minute. It's not that he would be. He is.
I'm already there.
His bonuses disappear. Nothing that happens that's positive in his life. And I said to Don once, I was talking to Don about his race, and Don goes like this: why don't I just fucking send his race to his bookie? Because that's where it ends up. He's like, why am I battling for something if he's just going to gamble it away? And I go, I can't believe it, but I agree with management.
No.
Why no?
Give me a shot. It could hit.
But that's the thing. Even if you hit, you gamble that money away. That's the thing. There's no finish line for you.
I mean, I understand David Milch. And David Milch, his thing was the horses. That was what he really pissed away most of the money on, just horse racing.
Well, I have a friend of mine who is a gambling addict and horse racing, and we were at a book, and I'm like, come in and fucking bet football with me. And he's like, I don't have the time for that. I need something really fast. And horse racing, you get to lose your money, in under 2 minutes.
Right.
He did not want to sit around and wait 3 hours to go broke. He needed to do it right away. Horse racing is the bottom of the barrel fucking gambling.
It's really bad. And even watching the Kentucky Derby or the Belmont Stakes, that it's a longer race, it kind of get annoyed. It's this has been going on for 2.5 minutes. This should have been done 40 seconds ago.
Dan, Colorado.
Yeah, I'm a big David Milch fan. I love Deadwood. He's a great writer, but, I also know that he's a recovering alcoholic and a junkie, and I think that ties in, the addictive personality.
Yeah, it's multiple. Serious. Yeah, it's definitely multiple, addictions to most people that are addicts.
Well, you replace one with the other, sorry.
Yeah, I don't even know if some people say that you do replace one with the other. I just think that they're all there anyways. It's a matter of what you're dealing with at that time. But the fact is, Chris can see it, yet it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's probably the worst part, right?
So you're aware, you're aware of the fact that it's a problem. It's not a good decision that you do.
I can look back on it and realize it, but like maybe at the time, it's like I just like it's not learning a lesson. It's not learning that like, oh wait, I could just pocket this cash. No, I want to get to the next thing.
So you don't learn from when you lose big. You just
basically
you see it as a challenge to go back in.
Yeah, well, look at the NFL playoffs.
Do you believe you're going to win, or do you believe you're going to lose?
I have to believe I'm going to win, because if I believe I lose, I feel like I'm trying to reverse jinx myself.
But do you actually believe it? Like when
I make a bet, when I say take the over or fucking take him a +5 or this horse is going to come in fucking first, I believe it. Like I think like I've been thinking about this rationally. I've figured it out. I know what's going to happen, and then it doesn't. But that's why I'm betting the money on it.
But when you say something like take heads over tails, that's a lock. Do you believe that? Like, are you magical thinking? Why would you say
something that's stupid?
Are you magical thinking? Is that what I'm asking?
I felt heads was due during the Super Bowl fucking coin toss.
Did you get any data at all on that? Did you look to see the last 12 fucking Super Bowls?
No, I did not.
So why would you believe it was due when, for all you knew, it could have won? It could have been heads the last 5.
I should have looked into it, but just in my mind, I thought it was due.
So your mind is fucked up somehow. You have a mental illness.
Yeah.
Okay. You need fucking serious help. Are we wrong to keep you employed? No. Is this keeping you afloat?
Is this enabling you?
No,
yes.
No. Not enabling. Not enabling.
Each paycheck is enabling you.
Yeah.
No. It's enabling the pay.
We're giving him gambling juice. But look, we just went to 2 stories that people didn't think out at all. Fucking Joe just yelled out, the guy's lying. He doesn't listen to that, as if that was beneficial. And then Chris is yelling, these things I believe are going to work, without looking into it. No one we have looks at facts at all. They just say things.
Well, I know I feel kinship to David Milch. Not that I haven't fucking gambled away $100 million.
Well, do you feel kinship to every fucking rail rat out there? Every fucking rail bird that's just hanging around hoping to choke to death on a fucking handful of peanuts? Like when you go to the track, are you like, these are my people?
Not most of the time, no.
Then what is it about David Milch? Oh, because he's famous?
Yeah.
And you see yourself that way? Because you fucking did a couple periscopes?
Which one do you think you're actually closer to?
Now that I think about it, the railbirds.
Those are your real people, Chris.
But you could fucking give him secretariat. He would still go broke. It doesn't matter what he does, because he doesn't stop. If there was a plan of, at a certain point, you would feel like a winner and you would stop and walk away, then it might make some kind of sense. But his is just about doing it until he loses. There isn't any plan until losing everything.
It's not. Do you even think when you're betting, I have the possibility of winning X amount of money, and that money is great because I will use it to this? It's like you don't even think of
don't think that far ahead.
What the reason is that you're coveting it. There's no plan.
Not a lot of planning goes on. Just let's see what happens at this bet.
At this moment.
So then that really goes to show you it really isn't about the money, but it is that thrill.
It's about losing. It's about, it's like when you sit around and you try to talk to a girl, like, what do you hope to gain from cutting yourself? You know what I mean?
Right.
He's basically a cutter, but his cuts go into his soul.
Internal cutter.
It's a cry for help, though.
I don't think so, because he has help. We all want to help him. We offered to send him away to a rehab yesterday. Don's all into it.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're in a weird thing even now that you've sobered up. You're acting very strange.
Am I? Oh, yeah, that's actually pretty weird.
Just look at the way you're sitting. There's a weirdness to you. You're sitting and down to the left. You're not acting like yourself.
It's so sad.
You're not sleeping at all.
No.
Okay.
He doesn't understand his own body. He doesn't recognize his own real body.
It's kind of true. He doesn't know how to be himself without the alcohol. You can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how to sleep. You only know how to pass out.
That's what's been going on.
Let us send you away, dude.
I'm not going away.
Why?
It sounds great.
Why? Because you might fix yourself?
I don't want a vacation. I don't want a fixer-upper.
You don't want to do the work, or you don't want to be good at life?
I want to be good at life. I like to work, but I don't want to go to a rehab.
Your work is terrible.
Ugh.
Just so you know that. I mean, you know that. I don't have to tell you.
It's not good.
So why don't you go into a rehab? Everybody will be like, yeah, you'll be like the fucking, like you're going off to World War I. We'll be waving at the boat. We'll send you by boat.
I like to be in the back of a train.
Chris,
All right.
Chris, just think about it like a little bit of you time. Just you time.
We'll send you out west.
That would be great.
Too sunny.
No, it would be beautiful. Go out west, chill out for a little bit.
Look how he's just nodding his head constantly.
It does. It is good, right?
No, it's not. No, I like working. I like being here.
Dude.
But it's just
this isn't about your work. Your life isn't about working and losing money and being drunk. You know what I mean?
I understand.
You don't understand. Stop nodding. If you understood, you would just go and go get some fucking help for yourself. Like here we are, instead of talking about our show and our topics, we're talking about helping you.
Thank you for being concerned.
Can you stop nodding your head up and down? Can you?
I can't. I don't think I can.
But why? You don't normally do that. Why are you nodding constantly?
I don't know. This is a new tick.
God. Help me help you, Chris.
Jerry.
Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Yeah.
Gail, how you doing?
What's up?
I equate this whole thing because I don't have a gambling, but I used to do a lot of freebase years and years ago.
Right.
It's sort of that rush. It's never the hitting of the pipe. That's the total rush. It's the preparing and it's doing all that. And I think gambling's the same way. It's not winning or losing as much as it's the whole process leading up to it. Maybe the high might be 50% of it.
No, I agree. I think here's what I think Chris likes. You ever been on a roller coaster? Really, the best fucking point is right till you get to that top of the hill, and then you're looking straight down. That's Chris, except for instead of being a roller coaster track, it's the abyss of his life. He loves looking into the darkness and emptiness of his own soul, a place that there should be something. You know what I mean? There should be content. But you know what's really interesting is we used to do this with Fed, and now Chris has taken on
New Fed.
The Fez role, where he's got a new weird thing that he's doing. And then Don said to me, he says, like, the other night, he's like, is this you? The people around you just go insane. And he was being very serious, you know? He's like, is there a reason that Chris has jumped into this insanity thing? And I'm like, maybe, you know?
This is all my own doing. I've chosen all these things.
You know who used to say that same thing? Noddy. Tell me, Noddy, who used to say that?
Fez?
You're being... I wish that even when you would have come down off of the drinking and drugs, you would have done it under doctor's care. You know what I mean? Because I think that's what's got you all fucked up now.
Maybe it's just too much too fast for you.
Here's Lee. Lee, what's up?
Hey, Ron. I appreciate that note. I just made 29 years. I really appreciate it. But I think they found out that, gamblers get the same exact charge out of losing as they do winning. So they're totally screwed.
You know, I've heard that before, that they want to lose. I don't know. It's an addiction that I don't share, and it's always harder to understand, somebody else's addiction.
Yeah, it's confusing. But I thought it was interesting bringing up that it's about that kind of the ritual that goes along with it, too.
I think it all is ritual.
Because that's when you're quitting smoking, that's the biggest part. Once you get past the nicotine, that doesn't take very long for your body to be rid of that type of addiction. But it's very hard to give up the ritual that you do when you go back and do the same things the same ways. I always have a cigarette when I do this, and I take it out, and I have my lighter.
Yeah, but you ever notice this with Chris? He doesn't even scope anymore because he doesn't know how to react to people without that whole thing that he's drinking and gambling and spitting and smoking, shitting himself, pissing.
Yeah,
No
he does
shitting.
do those things. All of the above.
You got to go to Japan, dude.
Not going to Japan.
Go to Japan.
Think
Go
it'd
to
be
Japan,
fun?
dude.
You got to go to Japan.
Wait, is Japan code word for something, or is it actually Japan?
Oh my God, the paranoia really heavy with you right now.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, he says.
Right now, yes.
Just reminded me of Fez, the way he said that.
Yeah. And he's leaning in and he's trying to focus, and it's what is it that you need, Chris?
I don't think I need anything right now. I think I'm good to go.
A little stay away.
No stays away. I like being here.
Oh my God. The babiness. The babiness
creeping
of
me
that.
out.
I like being here.
I'm not going to rehab.
I
Not
like-
going to happen. That's the fucking it. That's it. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to rehab. I think it's crazy for me to go to rehab.
Why? Why would a guy who is addicted to alcohol and drugs and gambling say that was crazy? Getting well
Do
was
you think
crazy.
that we would
And
judge
you're
you for
constantly
going?
saying things in front of you and you haven't fucking
There's
DTs.
dust right
There isn't anything. He's swiping away at things that don't exist.
Do you think that we would judge you?
No.
That we is that what you're afraid of?
He thinks we would judge him positively.
Never that. Not going to rehab.
Do you not believe in our support and
Yes,
love?
and I appreciate it. Thank
Would you
very
talk
much.
to somebody just in the HR department here?
No, why would I talk to HR? They
to
don't want to
Janet.
see me.
They do want to see you.
That's weird.
If they're going to fucking sign off on this. I just feel like I'm doing a show with Amy Winehouse. You know?
He said, no.
By the way, if you get a name like Winehouse, how can you not be in trouble? Just a house full of wine. And then I'm like, is that does it, Chris?
Oh, boy.
Look at it. Going off to the left. Exit. Stage left. Where are you going when you do that move?
Oh, there's nowhere to go.
I don't know why.
You're going to crash into those monitors.
And dust.
It's everywhere.
He's losing it.
I know. He's fucking gone.
God bless him. He's losing it.
You know what everybody's talking about up on the iBank today, and it's a story you sent in, Gail, and it's Kim K and her weird taping thing.
Yes.
Why?
So Kim Kardashian decided to share a little behind the scenes moment of what it is like in order to get the breasts in the right place when you're wearing, say, a very revealing evening gown on the red carpet. And she shows without her dress on the incredible amount of taping that has to happen to her breasts.
And by the way, it doesn't look like it's done with any skill.
No, that looks like regular masking tape.
I know.
It is
I feel
just-
like I could invent something and then go on Shark Tank and get probably Fubu to follow me up here, because it seems like there should be an apparatus
Yes.
or something.
One of those like a lightweight harness that kind of looks like those ones that detectives wear underneath their suit jackets when they have their little guns like that.
Yes, holster. That's
Yeah.
the name you're looking for.
A holster, but I'm saying like one of the high ones, like way
Yeah.
up there. That's exactly what it should be.
But the masking tape, pulling that off your even shoulders before you get to the under tit
Yeah.
has got to be just awful.
Now imagine then having to just move around and be a person, moving your arm. It looks so painful. It's crazy because then there's this idea that her breasts are just locked into that position. Like there's a part of people that believe like, oh, look, Kim Kardashian's breasts, they look great in that dress. But it's smoke and mirrors is what it is.
Isn't that everything with women's fashion? Is smoke and mirrors? There's nothing
much.
real.
None
There's
of it's real.
nothing real. God, there's weird bands walking by here.
There's so many people here today.
I know.
All kinds of folks in the hallway.
Hope have anybody big today?
He had in. Oh, Mark Norman was in. Pete Davidson was in.
Oh, Mark. Mark Norman. Why are we calling him Mark now?
Didn't realize.
Mizark. Mark.
Mizark.
Mizark
The
Norman.
pictures are up. Now, by the way, no matter what you say, your tits look fantastic.
They look great. Yeah, of course.
Even with that crazy tape. But I think tearing that tape off must have been just... You're going to take chunks of under tit along with you.
Very painful. And like going across the nipple like that, a very sensitive area, that, and then also the underarm, I think would be very painful, pulling it off of there.
All right, I got a little spy report here.
Spy report.
I think everybody's familiar with the Daily Dot, right?
Yes.
I am.
So they're doing, this just got sent to me now, so I'm trying to put it all together. They did an article about Seth Meyers. Seth Meyers is getting late night right, and no one is watching. So here's the part that was sent to me. Even if he doesn't do well in every regard, it's still good enough for NBC to invest in the foreseeable future. It even led SiriusXM's Ron Bennington to predict that Meyers will one day take over Lorne Michaels' entertainment.
What? Oh my God! Your predictions are out there.
Yeah.
You're getting the word out there.
Isn't it amazing? Look, here's the weird thing. Just to see me, basically, now as the not modern-day Nostradamus, as Chris Stanley sinking into the abyss of rehab.
It's perfect.
It's a crazy story.
Seesaw.
There's an ebb and flow, but it makes sense. Two of you working together.
We really are. Maybe as he fails, I'll get more and more successful. All right. Well, thanks to the Daily Dot for pointing that out. All right. So the great thing now is that's totally locked in. So for when the day that this happens, and it's someday, and I hope in a distant future before Mr. Lorne Michaels steps down, that they'll have to go back in a Back to the Future way and admit that I had predicted it.
And it'll be perfect. Now there's actual proof. Once it's in print, it doesn't go away.
That's true. That's all I've ever wanted is a permanent record of my predictions.
It's very exciting.
You picking Daytona this week?
Yeah, I got to. I'm gonna see now who the. I'm still looking over all the data.
You have no idea who anybody is.
No, but I'm looking over the data, so I'll have a good grasp on it by tomorrow.
Do you trust your own data analysis?
Definitely.
I don't know.
It seems like you shouldn't. Even sports you know very well. It seems like you shouldn't trust your own data analysis.
I got the Broncos, and everyone else said they wouldn't.
Right now, with the way that you got the DTs going, I wouldn't even drive. I don't even think you should be in the back of the car. You might end up stabbing the driver in the neck.
Just flailing around back there.
By the way, I'm pointing this out. I feel like Uber's getting worse and worse and worse.
I tried to get an Uber the other day, and it was taking so long. No one was picking me up, and I ended up having to take a yellow.
I think with that 15% drop, a bunch of them quit.
Really?
Feels so.
I'll tell you what to use. If you guys are driving in the city, use Get. $9 anywhere in the city. Use it. It's fucking great.
Get?
It's called Get.
I can't have 90 of these. I just got Arrow.
Oh, God. Now,
get rid of
Get?
Arrow. Get yourself some Get.
No, Arrow is at least a yellow cab.
Get. You got to get your Get.
Stop saying the same thing over and over.
It's $9 anywhere in the city.
You're sweating and you're saying the same thing. $9 anywhere in the city. Get. Why are you saying the same fucking thing?
Is this one of these deals where you have to share the car with someone else?
No, it's by yourself. It's like an Uber, but it's like an Uber.
But why is it $9 anywhere you want to go?
I don't know. I haven't looked into the company. All I know is I paid $9.
You're doing it now?
Yeah, I'm on Get. I'm a Get boy.
Is there a way that just maybe you
the name is stupid, Get, because it's fucking, you say Get over and over again.
There's no reason to say it over and over.
This car service it's called Get. It's fucking great.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Is that the nerves getting you? Look at poor Joe. Joe, being the weird middle child that he is fucking hunkering down and cringing.
It's bad. Wait, what's it called?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm not going to feed into his jokes.
Why? Wouldn't that be the one thing we would do here?
Get.
Do you think that Do you think that maybe it just happened to be a $9 fare and you're confused?
I'm not confused. This is an actual thing. I'm not making this up in my head.
Who just tweeted from my thing? Thanks for the shout out from Daily Dot.
Big ups from the Daily Dot.
Oh, this is interesting. The guy says, what is it about the Bennington show attracting people with compulsions like Hicks, Staples, Watley, etc.? Well, you can put Bennington in there. Is Chris afraid of losing his apartment if he goes to Japan? Hits cannot delegate. Too much pride. And will never say, I can't do my job because of the addiction. I know you and him were yelling at each other last night.
Yeah.
Because
we had a sibling spat.
Because Vito was talking to a guest and Chris got upset about it?
Yeah, he was talking about a guest that he wanted to book. And he said, oh, I can reach out to this person. I think he was going to a show that night. He knew that person was going to be there. And Chris snapped on him. And when I do the booking.
I'm the booker, Vito.
Dude,
and it wasn't like
that?
He's laughing now, but it was dead as serious.
Yeah.
And I have had to tell him many times, you need to circle everyone in. And it was a culmination of that. And I snapped and we had a sibling fight.
You also said that to me before that he always talks down to people and you catch him doing it. That when I'm not around, he just fucking drops hammers.
It's crazy. It's nuts the way he talks to these guys. These are your boys. These are
But
your
here's
team.
the thing. Then he also doesn't train them or teach them anything. He just screams at them.
How are they supposed to learn, Chris?
You know what? When the man that I call Rehab Chris gets back,
what?
Everybody's going to love him. Dude, by the time you get back here, it'll be springtime in New York.
I like the winter.
You get a fresh start, though.
I feel like I'm making my own fresh start myself.
No.
What makes you afraid? Taking those things out of your life? The drugs, the pills, the powders.
I've taken everything out. I'm drinking a lot of water and not sleeping. It's going okay, I think.
You're not facing whatever these things are that make you feel this way, though. Is that what scares you?
Maybe.
If I had to guess what was wrong with him, I'd say he was touched.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah. I don't remember being I could have been touched.
You could have blocked it out.
The fact that you blocked it out is probably the thing that matters most.
That's the thing I think I've done mentally.
Do you think that you were abducted by aliens or something like that? Because a lot of times they say that those people were touched.
I don't remember a lot about my childhood.
Okay.
That's a dead giveaway.
Like, what's your at what age is your earliest memory?
Like, I remember I remember taking a bath as a child. But then,
dick out.
Okay.
Yeah, that dick was out.
Where were you, in the sink?
I believe a tub. And then it shoots, my constant, consistent memory is maybe later elementary school.
Later elementary school? What grade?
Fifth?
No.
I don't have a lot of memories before that.
It can't be fifth grade. You must have solid memory before fifth grade.
You realize how much you're freaking him out by saying that? The fact that he can't remember anything before the fifth grade goes to tell you. First of all, his stuff that I've got out of him, his childhood was a nightmare. He was raised by an addict. And you say criminal?
Oh, yeah. Criminal, yes.
An addict criminal and his enabler, his gun mall, if you will. Let's say this. When they took Chris to the zoo when he was a kid, right? Chris's job was to stand on the running boards with the Tommy gun. Steve.
You know what your friend there has got to get is great movie with David Johansen, Let It Ride, with Richard Dreyfuss.
I got the horse right here. His name is Paul Revere. All right, Steve, this is the same way that if you called this up and said, there's a little movie called The Godfather, right? This is how well we know Let It Ride.
I had to refrain from singing. I left that up for you.
Yeah.
South Florida, great flick.
We all know this movie.
We love it.
We love your show.
Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.
But, Chris isn't even Richard Dreyfuss. He's fucking David Johansen in that movie.
Or the Indian guy, Tommy Cheeseburger. The guy who had the open shirt, he was a fucking loser.
I think it is great that there's a Club Soda Kenny in that movie, too. Everyone stand back. I am glad about the Daily Dot giving me that benefit that I need today.
That's very exciting.
I'll send out another email for the Daily Dot. I guarantee Chris dies within 3 months.
Shit.
Another Bennington prediction, guys. Let's print this one.
The Justice will be found with a pillow over his head.
What a load of bullshit that is. No one doesn't seem anyone's even talking about it anymore.
Because they came out with the fact that there's nothing to talk about. If you would just even take a look at the internet.
Of course they would say that.
That's the thing about you conspiracy nuts. There's nothing to make you think that there's no amount of proof that means anything to you.
No. Because
Do you think
is there a conspiracy you believe in, Gail?
Is there? It's so tricky because I've read so many.
I'm a 9/11 conspiracy nut, and
what?
I honestly believe that 9/11 really took place on 11/9, and that's been forgotten about. I believe November 9th
What?
was the bad day,
holy shit.
and that we, through a government giving us chemicals through our water, believe it took place on 9/11, when in fact it was 11/9. And there was almost 2 months of people being in a coma.
Wow, that sounds pretty solid, actually.
What does?
The 11/9 theory.
What 11/9 theory?
Oh my God!
God, it's
I'm freaking
true.
out.
Huh? I'm sorry, they got to me. What are you talking about?
No.
I've been starting to really think that the moon landing was faked. I never thought that before, but since just we haven't gone back, and it can't be that fucking.
Well,
hard.
there's no reason to go back. It's very expensive, and we got there.
Yeah, but they should prove to everyone that they actually went there. I mean, just to put down the conspiracy theorists. Because if I was the government, if I was NASA...
Just relax, dude. I'll get you a drink right now if that helps you.
I don't want anything to drink.
Then don't start fucking freaking in this small room.
Sorry.
It's screaming.
It's getting tight in here.
I know. It's getting tight in here. Please put on all your clothes.
I can't breathe, though.
Getting too tight. Why don't you just settle down? There's no reason to go back to the moon. Even the corporations that are talking about going into space, they don't even want to go to the moon.
If I was the government and I was NASA, I would do it by now because I'd be annoyed as fuck to deal with all these people saying it never happened. It's just out of spite they should do it.
There is no one of substance. There's no one who's not a fucking grade A asshole who is saying that we didn't go to the moon. The entire planet watched us go to the moon.
It could have been a soundstage. They could have just fucking made it. They could have
What
just
do you see
fired
the
a
thing with
rocket.
the flag or whatever? Why is the flag moving
why
or
is
it's
there
not
wind?
moving? There's like all these something about
All right, let me do
shadow.
this. You get the fucking money together with you and your other fucking assholes. You'll probably come up with about $1.380. But no one wants us to go back, particularly to find the exact same spot we went to before. No, do you have any conspiracy insanity, Gail?
Now, the only one, and most of them seem, pretty loopy to me, but one that I had read that I thought was just so interesting and kind of funny is somebody was saying that they believed that, do you remember when George W. choked on the pretzel?
Yeah.
So in this person's theory, they were saying that he never choked on a pretzel. He actually had a stroke or something along that line, and that they had covered up through the rest of his presidency that he was not all there, and everyone was kind of just propping him up like
I don't think he was all even there before that happened.
But yeah, there's a pretzel conspiracy out there that the pretzel never
I remember
happened.
when people thought that he was drunk and fell down.
Right.
Or Falloned it, as they call it in page 6.
Sure.
All right, Joey, what about you? We never went to the moon, and George Bush had a stroke.
Okay.
I was replaced by a lookalike?
No, he was just being kind of propped up, and they were acting.
He was
as
always
though...
propped up.
This one I've been wrestling with since the NBA All-Star game.
Okay.
Where Reggie Miller said, hey, for a lot of kids, Kobe's 81-point game is Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game for a different generation. And in barbershop culture, there's a conspiracy theory that Wilt Chamberlain never actually scored 100 points.
Well, first of all, I never heard that, but I know for a fact that it did not take place in the city of Philadelphia. He played with Philadelphia then.
Yeah.
It took place in Hershey.
Yep.
There were no cameras. It wasn't on TV. Yet, think of how many events were not recorded by cameras in the history of the world.
Yeah. Most. All events.
Like 99.9%. Now, why would anyone lie that someone scored 100 points against them?
I don't know.
That it was just more like a...
Yeah.
People
Maybe,
amped it up and said...
Hype him up as the best.
I never heard the term barber shop culture before.
I like it.
And I remember when I did an Unmasked with Cedric, the entertainer, he goes, do you know how, like, everybody just goes to the barbershop and sits around and talks all day? And I'm like, nope. White people don't have that at all. We go into the barbershop, we read a Sports Illustrated, we get our hair cut, we leave. We don't sit around just being with each other. Doesn't happen that way. We have bars for that.
Yeah.
All right, I had never heard that before.
It's an interesting one.
Well, yeah, because
It's a stupid one.
It's never been filmed.
Yes, but so what? There were people there.
Yeah.
There's a stat line. That's worse than them faking the moon landing. It's even more crazier.
No.
It's not. It definitely isn't as crazy.
It's actually less because that one was fucking filmed. That's it. Go down and to the left. Where does he go when he's like that?
Come back to us, Chris.
I'm here.
You deal with a lot of anxiety when you're not drinking? Is that what's going on right now?
In the past, yeah. And
in the present?
So you have an anxiety thing. So you're self-medicating. That's what you're doing.
At times, yeah. Yeah.
At times.
I think that maybe you should get into a little morning meditation or something.
They teach you that in rehab.
Oh, perfect. That's another good idea of why maybe you should.
I'll look it up online.
What? Rehab?
Meditation.
Yeah, that's how you learn meditation online.
University of Phoenix.
Google it.
They have a course.
First of all right, let me just say this. I fucking hate the University of Phoenix because I hate that fucking song. That fucking crazy bitch who sounds like she's a ghost singing If I Only Had a Brain. If that fucking commercial comes on, I'm going to hang myself. You know what I'm talking about, Joey?
Yes.
I don't know it. What is this?
All right, Chris is going to play it. This fucking runs during every sporting event.
So my kids don't have to forage. Got 2 jobs to pay a mortgage, and I've also got a brain. Life's short, talk is cheap. I'll be working while you sleep. Still don't think I've got a brain.
All right, let's just stop it for a second. What the fuck is that about? That makes me want to do just the exact opposite of buy your product.
Oh my God, that's so annoying.
That sounds like something that you would hear if you had a fever. That didn't exist. If you think I still don't have a brain? What is she, fucking insane?
Well, she's doing that obnoxious indie girl voice.
Feist.
Yeah, Feist has it. There's a few different artists, and I don't know when it started. It was a couple years ago, and now everyone's like, Billie Holiday, but I'm white. I don't know why it got started and when it will end, but it drives me insane, and that's what this is. It's the worst.
I despise it. Ted in Providence.
Hey, guys, $1 million.
Hey.
So I have a buddy who moved out west and went deep into conspiracy theory culture to the point that he believes everything that's ever on the news is part of an overarching conspiracy. But my favorite one that he told me is that Bill Hicks did not die. he was transformed into Alex Jones. So Alex Jones and Bill Hicks are one and the same.
Well, here's the thing. They both are from Texas, so they have the same kind of accent. And they both have similar hair, but that's where it ends. Like, I think Alex Jones would be smart enough to keep calling himself Bill Hicks. And leave it at that. But they do have, there's something very, very close in their accent. It's a Texas accent.
Yeah. But if you look at their faces, they're not the same person.
No, they even sit around and do that. Maybe you don't have a brain.
Maybe you don't have a brain.
Play the rest of it. I hate this fucking commercial so bad, though.
I'll do it faster. I was born a multitasker. I was raised against the grain. I took 2 bullets in the chest. Got 3 kids. I never rest. And I've also got a brain.
Stop it.
God.
She, you know the Duplass brothers, they have that...
Mumblecore.
Yeah, okay, Mumblecore is how they started. Well, they've got that TV show on Showtime. She talks like the wife on that. Oh, all right, the same one used to chase Charlie Sheen around in the 2 Men and a Half a Baby. Oh, so sad. But the woman who does that, her voice sounds like, all right, let's hear the rest.
Resume's enough. Who'll step up when things get tough? Don't you want that kind of brain? A degree is a degree. You're gonna want someone like me. But only if you have a brain.
Oh!
Only if you have a brain.
Seriously, this makes me run into a fucking mall shooting. She drives me nuts. And I don't know, they buy spots during sporting events so I can't fast forward. I'm trying to watch fucking Golden State. I'm trying to watch history because I don't want anybody to say this doesn't happen.
And now you're diving for the mute button.
I feel like I don't have a brain. Why you, first of all, she's fucking bothering me for not hiring her because she went to Phoenixville online.
It's a scam. It's not real.
Why isn't it real?
Why did she take 2 bullets in the chest?
That
I was
part I never
really
understood.
lost.
She was
I
robbing
think
a
that was
liquor
from me. I think, I don't know, maybe she was trying to say that veterans do this. Lou, Jersey.
Hey, $1 million, Bennington.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris Stanley, you said we haven't been back to the moon, and that's your conspiracy theory?
That's what I'm starting to believe, yeah.
Okay, you realize that we've been back to the moon several times.
When?
Right after. Well, we didn't only have one trip to the moon, dude.
I thought there was only the one.
No.
Oh, boy.
Fucking way off.
So why would I ever believe you?
So how many times have we been to the moon then?
A total of 6.
Why am I only hearing about this first one? Why am I only hearing about this now?
It's
why don't you just there, Google? Man.
Since how many times have we been to the moon? Yeah. The Apollo missions kept going back.
Neil Armstrong really fucking stole all their thunder.
Oh, wow, it's just such a dumb thing to say. It really is just dumb.
6-man missions to the moon. I don't even have to click on a link. Google just fucking tells it to me.
Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Ron and Fez.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, Gail, it was Regina Spektor that started that singing style, and I can't stand it either. It's always accompanied by poor piano playing as well.
Yeah, as Regina Spektor, Joanna Newsom also maybe of the same time. And then whatever, one person did it fine, but now you can't have an indie girl band without that being the vocal style.
Even Zoe Deschanel sings like that too.
Yeah.
She's adorable though.
Yeah, she's quirky.
Because she'll sing with a ukulele.
Like that.
Yeah, bring up the sound a little bit instead of...
And I put it on a mountaintop.
Much prefer this.
The tourists come and stare at us.
Right, that part.
There you go.
Really like it, yeah.
Blue bubbles with their gum.
If If I only had a brain. Whatever that fucking Phoenixville is, I just want to fucking destroy it now. For that commercial. If I was hiring people and they said, well, I have a degree from Phoenixville, I'd like, get out! Get out! That's how I tell people to leave anyway now.
If I only had a brain.
Fucking shows up on every sporting event. By the way, pitchers and catchers today in spring training. That is the first sign of spring. And there's like little buds in my neighborhood on the trees, little tiny red buds.
I saw that in my neighborhood as well.
So nice. It's so crusty.
But spring has sprung. I saw it as well the other day. Little sprouts are coming out.
I got a text, I'm not going to say from who, but says, Chris really needs to go to rehab. I've seen it for a long, long time.
Oh.
You know who it's from. Who normally texts and is concerned about you.
Okay, write it down.
You can write it down all you want. Here's our buddy Pit Doc. Pit Doc!
Pit Doc!
Hey, Ronnie.
Idiot. What do you say, buddy?
Yeah. I think his name is Pamplemousse. It sounds just like I normally like their music, but I hate that song.
Oh yeah, I remember that group. I feel like they got YouTube famous.
Uh-huh.
They were doing covers of songs.
They did some Christmas songs, and she did a great cover of La Vie en Rose. But that sounds just like her, the singer in there, and everything else. One more thing, Chris. Yesterday I was listening to the beginning of the show. I didn't listen to the rest of it because I was coming in, and is he having these odd tics?
Yeah, very odd.
The reason I thought it was very familiar was the night before I saw the first episode of Horace and Pete. And is Chris taking his Probital?
It does seem like he's Buscemi.
I got one pill left. Just save it.
All right, then.
I want you guys to lock me in the booth.
By the way, yeah, go ahead, Pit Doc.
I hope you got your sandwich yesterday. I wanted to call up to Don Wickler's office and say the Star's sandwich is getting cold, but I didn't do that.
That was very nice of you, and I enjoyed the Bowie as well. Thank you so much, my friend.
You're welcome, sir. Have a good day.
All right. Pit Doc's the best.
He's the best. Best there is.
Simply the best. All right, let me hear that song they was talking about. Because La Vie en Rose is one of my favorite songs ever.
It's Pamplemousse, like Pomplammoose, I think. There you go.
This is like a little couple.
La Vie en Rose.
You put La Vie en Rose.
Un rire qui se perd sur sa bouche. Voilà le portrait sans retouche de l'homme auquel j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras et me parle tout bas.
There is never anything about France, an American film, that this doesn't play.
Yeah.
The fucking plane's landing. The song is on.
It's a great song.
That's The Little Bird.
The Little Bird.
But it's like that's their version of Freebird. These guys were the first to kind of do this on the internet, right? Where they did harmonies with themselves and added their own instruments in.
Exactly, and she was covering like rap songs and Beyonce songs and stuff like that.
I forgot about her. And remember the little girl with the ukulele that would harmonize with herself, and there'd be like 8 of her heads up?
Yeah, exactly.
She got gigantic.
Yeah, there was a while that was predominantly what YouTube videos were.
Yeah.
Like before the big spike in people having YouTube channels where they were treating it like their own little reality shows or almost like talk shows. It seemed like that was predominantly what YouTube was for. Was like weird covers with strange little instruments where you're harmonizing with yourself.
Now it's mostly makeup tips and people commenting on video games.
Yeah.
I don't ever see any of that. I just still see pranks and people getting hurt. Like today, the big thing was the kid that was going through that obstacle course and his parents were laughing as he's getting fucking smashed. And then I was seeing that people were getting mad that this thing was put up like he had bad parents. Like, put it up for a second. Here the kid, he's trying to get through the obstacle course, and here the thing comes around, and boom, he gets smashed, right? And knocked up. He gets back up there, boom, he gets knocked up. Well, people are acting like his parents are bad, but this is the point of this thing, right? This is why you would play it.
Why would people be upset at his parents? This is why everything is made of foam.
Right.
So he's able to get thrown around. In fact, you like that kind of stuff when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Like,
you like getting bashed. He just got blasted in the head. But
then it sweeps the knee immediately after.
No, here's the weird thing. If this happens to an adult, you really are hurt. But when you're a kid, you just bounce. It doesn't bother you. Now, no one said, no, if you notice, this was embarrassing. The other kids would be laughing and pointing. This feels normal to those other kids.
Yeah. They obviously don't think that it's that embarrassing.
I don't even think he got blasted that bad. It's like getting hit with a pillow when you're on a bed and then falling on the bed.
Which was so fun when you were a kid.
Yeah, you loved it.
It was my favorite thing in the world.
Look, not one kid is looking over.
No. The sweep the leg is the best one.
Yeah. I don't know. The shots to the head are pretty damn good, too.
He just drops.
Like this one. No, his little body just... And you can see that other time that he got missed, he was a little disappointed. He needed a parent to say, hey, dude, the fun thing is the duck, you know? He just didn't know that part yet.
It's so weird to try to remember what it felt like to be young when your body was like so teeny. Do you ever try to remember what it was like to be in a child's body? I mean, it's a little easier for me because I don't have the height, but I would imagine for a really tall person, it would be even more jarring.
All right, Jonathan said this. They won't correct Ron. It's the University of Phoenix, not Phoenixville, the town in eastern PA.
So it's not that I won't correct him. I didn't know that that's what it was.
None of you guys know it was University of Phoenix?
That was the first time I'd seen the commercial.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't watch sports, do you?
No.
You're missing out on a lot of great sports.
I'm not a big sporty spice.
And commercials.
Despite this bod, I'm not a sporty spice.
You're like Gurian when it comes to that. When he was asking about the Super Bowl, and he was like, is that sports thing? Sunday? Is that sports thing on Sunday? The Super Bowl is sports thing. Like, there's no different. And
no, it's a different kind of Super Bowl that we have.
Oh, no, sports are on again. Didn't they finish the sports yet?
Yeah, well, he asks you when sports season is over. You had to tell him never. It just goes to a different sport.
It just seems like sports season is never done. Sports season is like comedy season, Jeffrey. Finds a way. Too much tuna. They're taking that Too Much Tuna show everywhere. That Gurian was in, now it's down in D.C., but it never once occurs to them to take Gurian. Do you know how happy he would be if he was just included?
Include him. It would mean the world to him. And he'll show up anywhere. He jumps around.
He honestly, he still is just happy that they give him a playbill with their names on it every once in a while. But he was the guy in the original thing.
Yes.
You know?
The original Too Much Tuna.
I don't know if it would have worked without him.
He's always giving shout outs to Nick Kroll. I mean, he loves them.
He loves Nick Kroll. And like, I don't see what he gets back.
Mm-mm.
You have your own Nick Kroll that's somebody that you love?
Billy Bob Thornton. I like Billy Bob a lot.
All right, I want you... In 20 seconds, name as many Billy Bob Thorntons as you can.
Starting right now.
Yes.
Sling Blade.
1.
Astronaut farmer.
5 seconds.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Bad Santa. Bad Santa. That's a Billy Bob movie.
And done.
So 2.5.
I like when you just said astronaut.
Astronaut.
I didn't know where you were going.
Astronaut.
I've never seen Astronaut Farmer.
No, I'm not going to see that shitty movie. I don't know why that popped in my head.
But you love him.
Okay, love him. Can't get enough of him. In those 3 films.
I just said, I thought Ron was just making an inside joke for us PA people. And somebody put up bad singing on that kind of singing shows up on American Idol. So Billie Holiday is fine singing as long as she's not white. Yeah, they're catching you being anti-white, I guess.
Okay, yes, I hate white people, I confess.
White people are so scared of white people.
God.
White singers matter.
If they only had a brain. I saw that Beyonce thing drew no one, the Beyonce protest.
There were 4 people.
And you even wanted to scope that, and I guess we forgot the day it happened.
I forgot it was raining.
That'll do it.
Mostly I forgot.
No. When it rains, your brain shuts off.
You're a robot boy.
It started to rain.
There was 4 people there, like one person, and the reporting of it, it's like one person forgot to laminate their sign, so it got fucking ruined by the rain.
What did, when Jay Moore was saying, why have we all decided Beyonce is attractive? And then she said he looked like Earl Campbell.
There is a weird obsession with Beyonce on the internet. Like almost cult-like, where people just fucking love Beyonce and just do love and.
It's not the internet; it's life. She's a very popular.
I think I run into people who say they love Beyonce. The only thing I ever loved that she did was ba ba da ba ba da ba ba da ba ba da. Yeah, then it starts to stink after that. I don't like the rest of the song at all. Just that part. But I don't know. Didn't we just go through before Beyonce? It was Vision of Love, right? Then we were all about the Vision of Love singer, Mimi. No. Remember they called her Mimi?
Oh.
Didn't they call Mariah Carey Mimi for a while?
That was May May.
Whatever.
May May.
I never heard it said out loud.
You must be May May.
I just read it. But there's always some diva woman that America is fixated on, and now it's her.
Yeah, Beyonce is Queen Bey, as they call her.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their nickname, Queen Bey.
But
thank you.
Yes.
It's really annoying. I hate that fucking nickname.
Why?
Why do you hate Beyonce so?
I don't know. I'm something. It's
racism?
No,
she's not for you.
I love black people.
As someone who hates whites, I just want to say I love Beyonce. And thank you for pointing that out.
The overwhelming love for her, I don't understand it. That's what made me start to dislike her.
Well, she's a popular singer. It happens.
I think it's mostly married to Jay-Z. I think that just fucking did wonders for her.
No, come on. She had a huge career before.
She's a bigger star than Jay-Z.
She is. She's absolutely, at this point, a bigger star than Jay-Z, and she had a huge career before.
I was going to ask you this, though. Who's a bigger star, Kanye or Kim Kardashian? Because I think it's Kim Kardashian.
That's interesting. It might be Kim.
Because they said this Kanye record is losing money. It flopped.
Yeah.
And nothing Kim Kardashian. She tapes her tits up and people come out of the woodwork.
That's the thing, is that when she has an ability to keep her name in the conversation, and Kanye can do that as well, but I feel like sometimes it works for him and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it backfires. Sometimes it's like good heat and everyone's like, oh, we're back to talking about Kanye again. Kanye's done something crazy. Where Kim is just like, she literally just has to tape her tits together, and we're all like, let's.
I turned on the radio the other day, and Sherrod and Opie started talking about Kim, and they were going deep, and I'm like, well, this is impossible. There's no way that these two men should care about any of the Kardashians and their ability. Yeah, and I haven't watched the OJ movie that they've done, but they said that the little Kardashian children are all over this. And at the time, we didn't even know who they were. You know what I mean? Like, I heard the name Robert Kardashian for the first time then. I didn't know about the little children. And now they're dominating the movie. Like, I can see it through their eyes. Like, they go running down there and they're just like sneaking in and watching from the balcony as their dad is talking about OJ busting up a chipperoll. I think that Kim is bigger than Kanye. I honestly do.
I think that she has more
talent. Am I going to be the only person who puts out that fucking this Kanye thing is ridiculous and retarded?
It's a shit show. Every fucking last three of his fucking albums sound fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That shit that he did on fucking SNL, they should have thrown a net over him.
It was so weird.
But it was just as bad as this $600 ticket that I saw the other night. The Alexander Jackson Hamilton. That thing looked fucking terrible on TV.
I couldn't believe it.
And then the guys that you guys acted like you liked until I pointed out how fucking ridiculous it was.
Lamar.
I liked that performance. I think if you look at that performance against Kanye's, the Kendrick Lamar, I think
why would I compare shit to fucking more shit? They were both Broadway camp. They're embarrassing.
I don't know. I think that there's something about Kendrick Lamar that's good. I think that he's doing something.
It isn't music. And that thing that he did was basically the Carol Burnett show. The fucking sets that people were acting excited about. Now, here's Kanye West when he threatened to quit SNL the other night. And apparently they said that Lauren went down and just spoke to him and chilled him out. But I think it would have been so much smarter if Lauren would have just let him walk. And just just came out and said, hey, we're going to do an extra sketch here on what should have been Kanye's fucking thing. We're going to do improv. Here's Bobby.
Yeah, why not?
All right, let's listen to this idiot.
Look at that shit. They took my fucking stage off of SNL. Without asking me. Now I'm gone. That Air Taylor Swift, fake ass. Y'all ain't gonna do this. We breaking the motherfucking internet. I'm into 6 years of this fucking shit. Let's get to it, bro. Let's get to it, bro. Are they fucking crazy? Bro, by 50%. Stanley Kubrick. Apostle Paul. Fucking Picasso and Escobar. By 50% more influential than any other human being. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. By 50%, dead or alive. By 50% for the next 1,000 years. Stanley Kubrick. Yay.
All right, now let me get to his point there. He's saying he's 50% more influential than who?
Than Stanley Kubrick, Pablo Picasso,
Escobar?
And Pablo Escobar.
All right.
The Coke Lord.
You're fucking insane, dude.
Where does Escobar come in?
Where does Kanye come in?
I think he said Pablo, and then he just thought, I'll name another Pablo. He said Pablo Picasso, and then he's like, name another Pablo. I'm probably more influential.
Now they say that he doesn't drink or do drugs, Kanye?
He smokes weed.
Doesn't sound like it. He sounds pretty tense for a weed smoker.
And why was he going to leave?
The issue was that, so you know how they had set it up where there were screens behind him in the SNL performance? Yeah. So there were also some screens that were on the floor as well, which is what the aesthetic that he wanted. But then the crew said, listen, we can't do this because there's too much reflecting. It's going to look bad on camera. So we have to do away with the floor screens, but you can keep the ones behind you. And he had a tantrum about it. And he was saying that was the most important thing. That says everything. If you're that angry about the screens on the floor, it's not about your song.
But here's the thing. Well, that is true. The song isn't there for any of these fucking guys. And by the way, Stanley Kubrick is a lot better. Now, but I would have let him have it. If I'm the producer of that show, and and he said, "This is what I want," I go ahead, do it. Because that's about him. It's not about anybody else. If he wants screens on the floor, put his fucking screens on the floor.
Get
Who gives
screens.
a shit?
Come on.
You know,
Help
I can get the fact that this is my gig and this, 5 minutes belongs to me. I would have got it for him. But this shit that he is saying about himself, he's insane.
I like that he also threw in a Taylor Swift jab for good measure, just because that's what he does. Taylor Swift is not there, but he always feels the need to
What
be
did
like,
he say?
He said, he just said in the beginning, for some reason, brings her up again. Like,
I didn't hear that.
yeah.
I couldn't hear any of the rambling.
Shit, they took my fucking stage off at SNL. Without asking me. And I'm gone. That and Taylor Swift, fake ass.
Calls her fake ass.
Yeah, he is right about that.
They're fake ass, and also, just so you know, I still think.
By the way,
Taylor Swift.
I do think there were screens on the floor, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think that they took up some of them because it was interfering with the camera in some way. Something was reflecting back. I'm not sure, but he didn't get the full staging that he wanted.
Kubrick would have gotten that. Why not Ye?
Right. And he's 50% more influent. This is a weird way of measuring it, too.
Yeah.
Like 50% of their...
Will also be remembered for 1,000 years.
For
I doubt
1,000
that.
years. Him, at least 50% more than Pablo Escobar.
Here's Grady.
Yeah, Ronnie, just from a guy who's heard my share of like manic depression rants before, man, that really sounds like he's on some sort of manic trip. Just all the shit he's bringing in.
Well, we're going through, Chris is having some kind of weird manic episodes from getting off of drugs and alcohol. And he's rambling a little bit and acting like he's exiting left no matter where the conversation is. He's taking off to his
Chris,
left.
where you going?
So we get it, but Kanye's fucking album stinks.
Yeah, I mean, those two songs, and those are the only two songs I've heard from the album. I haven't heard anything else.
Those are the two best songs from the album.
That's
so guess
good.
how it is.
It's crazy self-indulgent fucking insanity. And Joe's fucking generation loves him. I heard someone say fucking...
Joe's generation is your generation.
No, it's not. Fucking say that Kanye was their fucking spirit animal, talking about how great Kanye is. I don't fucking get it. Like his earlier
Wait a minute,
albums...
first of all, just calm down for a second, all right? Because you lost your shit. To call a black man an animal, even in a spirit animal, it sounds like it's a bad thing to me.
That's racist.
Fucking racist. I should have called him out. It's the love for this guy and his fucking latter day fucking
Saints
is shit. Don't
just
get it.
Relax, dude. That's your own fucking DT's kicking in. You want to be a person, not an idiot.
I do want. I want to be a dude. You know. Don't want to be a crazy fucking asshole.
Who's your spirit animal right now, Von
Billy
Miller?
Bob Thornton.
You don't know enough of his work.
You don't know his work. You can't even bring him up again.
Fargo, season 1.
Why don't you just... Okay.
Pushing 10. I like that.
My spirit animal right now is Drunk Monkey with a knife. And I'm trying to get Drunk Monkey to go to rehab for 8 weeks.
He said, no.
Chris, why don't you go, man?
Not going to rehab.
Yeah, come
Why?
on. We support you, Chris.
And you'll be paid full.
Still. What would I do with that money anyway? I'd be in rehab.
What?
Yeah,
You're
so
gonna
have
get
some
out.
saving.
Hold on. I think you might not understand what rehab is.
He thinks
You
it's
don't
prison.
go away forever. You come home. You
What's
eventually...
my commissary going to be like? At least I don't pull knives on people like this monkey.
Oh, great transition, radio man. Jesus Christ. This is a monkey that's fucking drunk. This is how crazy Brazil is and why we can't send our Olympians there. Is the Olympics this summer?
Yeah, they got to cancel
We are
it.
not fucking ready for this.
You got that Zika down there. It's not good.
The gangs.
Drunk monkeys. Now that fucking monkey knows how to use a butcher knife.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is Planet of the Apes, the beginning.
It's the town butcher, actually.
Oh
Oh my God. He's gone nuts. Gone nuts with that thing.
He hasn't gone nuts. He's actually outperforming what a monkey should do. This is like the best monkey ever. It's learning to use tools.
Eu vou rir quando o show. Ah, você soltasse essa quando ela vai com a marquinha, ela fica rindo com a faca na mão.
Now, by the way, this is how shitty Brazil is. That's a bar, not someone's shed. If he only had a brain.
If the drunk monkey only had a knife.
Ah, fuck. Drunk monkey going crazy. Look, he is scraped into the roof. See how he's scraping there?
Yeah, he's
And they went up and looked at it, and he had scratched into the roof, monkey hate clean.
Oh, no.
Got some ones in a row.
Nice.
By the way, our girls are coming in tomorrow.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, they're flying in from all over for Big J. We were hanging with Big J a little bit last night.
Yeah. We had a nice little run-in. I like when that happens.
He's Kanye fucking stressed, though.
Yeah,
He's stressed like Kanye right now. He told me he was 50% more fucking influential than Dan Soder.
Oh, my God. It's going to cause tension.
You've
on
been
that
seeing
show.
Dan Soder on Billions?
I haven't seen yet.
Why not? What is it that you watch over there in Brooklyn? Brooklyn shows?
Guess so. Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
You don't keep up. You haven't seen Never Call Saul, right?
No, I have not seen Better Call Saul.
What did I call it? Haven't called Saul?
Never Call Saul.
Never call that.
Oh, these people won't even correct him.
You should correct me. I should be corrected when I talk crazy.
That's why I did. I did correct you.
No, you corrected the statement, not me. You should have said, you should have stopped the game.
If you've seen it so much, then why don't you know it's called?
I have. I've seen it quite a bit. I like that show because nothing happened in that first episode.
Not a damn thing.
Most of the time, he was in the fucking pool.
Flip the switch.
He ain't even Saul yet. It's a fucking year in, and the motherfucker ain't even Saul.
The main character of the fucking show. Well, he flipped the switch. I mean, that's going to be exciting, I think.
I don't think anything happened, dude. I think that was the whole fucking point of that. What did you think? Something blew up on the other side of the world?
Yeah, I thought it was something weird like that.
I think there's a lot of switches that said don't touch, and you can touch them. I think that was the point of that. But, you know, there's always those things where in a thing, they go from nothing and then they get a job with a company car and all this. I never seen any company that they gave out company cars.
I thought that was a dream sequence at first when he first walked in, he was talking to the assistant or whatever.
Your DTs are just fucking crazy right now.
All of this is a dream sequence for you.
Oh, shit. We should break that because we haven't broken yet today.
But you were blaring that. It's the Bennington Show on a Thursday. Just hanging out, having fun. If you need to reach us at all today. Do we have a big guest coming in?
We have Bridget Everett.
I didn't ask to give it away. The answer was yes. No. Bridget Everett's going to be here then. All right. Go ahead. Bury the lead.
And then Louis Anderson Unmasked is happening Friday.
It's not a guest,
okay.
Dude.
First of all, Bridget Everett's stopping in later today.
All right. The answer was yes. This is all we do. All right, so Bridget Everett in 25 minutes or so. Love her.
I cannot wait to have her back. I adore her.
You do adore her. The last chances to get in on the big Louis Anderson this weekend. We'll lock it up by then. So write to us at the iBang. Check it out. Just head on over to the iBang. Unmasked with Louis Anderson. He's our favorite person on TV right now. He's just absolutely crushing it.
He's so good. He is so good on baskets. Well, we've loved him forever. But
we have.
It's also a really exciting time for this Unmasked to happen because he's
baskets
killing it.
Yeah.
He's killing it on that show.
He's stealing the show, which is, you know, hilarious because it's Zach Galifianakis' show, who's one of the funniest humans ever. And
it would be hard to imagine somebody stealing a comedic performance away from him. You know, it's like he's doing a great job, but it's like it's all you can focus on, I think, is how
She doesn't even look in anymore. That's how far. I went from a 6-year friendship to it's all over.
No, not baby anymore.
Hmm?
No, not baby anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Maybe I better make amends. Crazy BL called me before the show today, though.
Oh, how's she?
Who knows? I'm like, is something wrong? No. I could show you email after email that she says, I'm never going to call you again. That's it. I get it now. Pa. I answer the phone. You can't bring me up there, scene. I'm just like, I'm in the middle of something. You saw I was almost late for work today. Oh. Maybe I need to go to Phoenixville College. You can do it right online. It's easy enough. That Phoenixville degree. You know, it's a nice area. It's near Coatesville.
Sure.
You put a great thing up in Philly about the John. The John.
The John. That's a John. This is a John.
Everything's a John.
That's a John. He's a John. She's a John.
Get that John for me, would you?
Now, here's the thing about the term John.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people from Philly. My family is from that area. My man is from that area. I don't know anyone who says John. I don't think I've heard it used. And it was only after Creed where she's explaining a John that I even...
It's more of a hip-hop-y thing.
Yeah, because I was in the theater that I was in watching it. People went crazy when she says John and starts explaining what a John is. Like, people were like, yeah! They started clapping. And I turned to my man and I was like, what are they doing? And he's like, John. Just John. Like, I don't know what a fucking John is. He was like, yeah, it's a Philly term. I had no idea. I had never heard it before. But now it's on... Philly local news where they're like, what is a John? We took to the streets.
By the way, that girl doing that was, I think, a former Miss PA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I always like that when you see somebody who you've seen in a bathing suit and now they have a regular job. Now, we had a big Philly moment yesterday. I'll tell you what happened. So I'm in the studio here and I'm leaving. And I went over to talk to Lewis, about the gig because I haven't seen him since the gig. And then standing in the hallway was a Mr. John Oates. So John's like, hey, I haven't seen you for a while. And I go, yeah, I hear that you're playing Madison Square Garden. Now, I brought that up to him because Liz Sets Fire is coming into town tomorrow and couldn't get tickets, right?
Uh-huh.
So he says to me, John Oates says, we haven't played the Garden since 1985. It was the last time.
Whoa.
He goes, yeah, we put together that theater show and, we've been doing that. And now, we have to look into the lights and we're all excited. And I thought, first of all, it was amazing that, that being around this many years, like 40 years, they could still get excited about playing a gig.
That's so sweet.
But then it occurs to me, I'm thinking when I'm talking to him, I'm like, oh, Gail's never met John Oates. Where is she? When is she coming out of the studio? And so I keep talking to him, but I'm keeping an eye out for you.
Right.
When you finally come around, because I know your guys from Philly, his family, everybody in Philly likes John Oates.
Of course.
The same way people from Long Island like fucking Billy Joel. It's just a thing. If somebody's from your area, you're proud of them. So then I call Gail over. I don't know how quickly that you figured out who I was talking to.
Yeah, I was like coming around the corner and it was kind of like, it was so surreal to see him that I was like, it took me a moment to realize who you were talking to.
So then I do this in the hall and I'm like, no, I'm working with my daughter now. I go, it's really great. We're having a great time. She's a fan of yours. So you're coming up. I go, I want you to meet her. And I go like this, Gail Bennington, Daryl Hall.
Oh, no.
But it was smoothed over very quickly.
I don't believe so. Well, he's a very nice man.
He was so sweet about it.
He's a very nice man, but that was a terrible mistake to make.
But it's still, he was so sweet. I feel like it
and
was
then well, he was like, no, that's the tall one. And I go like this. First of all, no one corrects me. I go, I don't know whether you listen to the show enough. No one corrects me. And then he said, let's take a picture together.
Yes.
This is what a sweet man he is.
I have it, by the way.
Let me
it was
see.
sent over to me this morning.
By little Lily?
By little Lily. Hold on. I'm grabbing it right now. Or Chris, if you have it at your...
I'll grab it.
Oh, I got it.
Oh my God, that's a great picture.
Isn't that so cute?
Yeah. Oh, you guys are the same height.
I know. Well, that's with my lips.
That's a really great picture of you, though.
It's cute.
Look how great he dresses, too.
I know. He's very stylish. And he was so sweet.
Great fucking singer. Now,
Yeah.
here's the deal. You know that little comedy fucking team that calls themselves Garfunkel and Oates?
I do, yeah.
How's that supposed to be funny?
Do you think it's mean-spirited?
Well, first of all, I don't think you get the fucking premise. Art Garfunkel is a great fucking singer. Great.
Yeah. So,
Like one of the greatest singers of all time. John Oates, soul man, writer, singer, very successful. What is the point of that joke?
the joke is like that. Are they trying to say that's the less than?
Okay, then why don't you call yourselves McCartney and Jagger? Why would that be fucking funny? You know what I mean? You could be... Paul McCartney's a phenomenal fucking talent.
Yes.
He happened to be next to John Lennon.
Yes.
So that makes him a dope? That he's the
What a
dope of the
jerk.
group?
What a
I don't
jerk.
get the fucking joke. I don't get the joke.
I don't like any fun being poked at John Oates. I can tell you that right now.
After the wonderful day you had?
Yeah, just like the connection. Why is it that whenever I pose or a picture next to somebody in the halls, I just think, could we be a couple? That's what I always wonder.
You always come off looking that way, though. So what did you guys...
I have an intimacy.
What'd your guy think of that?
He loved it. He went crazy when he saw
Really?
it. Yeah, he just
Sorry to
started
hear that.
just tearing his hair out, pulling his clothes off, screaming into the street.
Oh my God, that's awful.
I know.
Did you tell him the Daryl Hall part?
I did tell him the Daryl.
Motherfucker, I knew it.
Daryl.
Why is that the
But-
fucking good part?
No, but I was saying how sweet John Oates was.
Oh my God. Did he cringe the way fucking Chris just did?
No, he did not cringe the way Chris did. He was very like, hey, that happens.
That really annoys me.
But that was, of course, he was also tearing his clothes off, running through the street. So I don't know really what he was saying.
That really was. And I, by the way, if I wouldn't have fucking figured it out, I would have never known if you guys didn't panic with it. I want the 2 minutes and 33 seconds of my life back. What was that about?
But 2 minutes and 33
I don't know.
seconds.
Somebody wrote into us. Did we play something for 2 minutes and 33 seconds?
Could it have been this
University of Phoenix song?
Oh, I guess the John.
The John?
Yeah.
We didn't play the John. That was up to you.
Yeah, but they probably went and watched it. And this guy says Pepper has a hard clap life. He did agree to go to a meeting with Ron, so maybe stop riding the Centaur so hard. Yeah, I don't know whether he can stay with this show, though. That's what I'm trying to do.
Shit.
Mike says Never Call Saul is a spinoff where he's 9 years old and his family never visits.
Oh, that's sad.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
All right, Chris, what do you got as a big story before your guest gets here?
Well, did you see the hockey has its first dive? Did you see this video where people seem to be freaking out because this guy, a hockey player, had dived during a game?
You mean like the way they do in soccer?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the first one.
It's pretty
very
dramatic.
funny. It's very funny, but I think that there's been people who act like something's happened that they didn't. Did he get the penalty?
Yeah, he got the penalty.
Well, it's pretty dramatic though. I don't know if it's because it's on ice, but it comes up even more over the top, I think, than oftentimes.
But see, here's the thing: you expect a hockey player to be tough. You know what I mean?
Right. It's very different from the normal style of play,
right?
Where they're normally just slugging each other.
Looks like he got shot in the back. Is how this fucking dude.
The arched back is an especially nice touch. He arches the back and then throws the hands back.
It's like if my brother hit me, that's what I would have done. I would act like I would fucking blast it like Kennedy.
Now, for American sports, I know that's one of their biggest issues with soccer. When I explain to people that I enjoy,
you flop all the time in basketball.
I don't know, but
kickers have always taken a fucking dive.
People, for whatever reason, anytime soccer comes up, I have noticed, no, I don't like soccer. What is it that you don't like about it? Always they bring up the diving.
Well, you can say, do you ever watch basketball? They fucking do it all the time. And every kicker's always taking a fucking dive.
And that now, they're saying that dudes fake injuries in NFL to get timeouts.
Yeah, that's the way they stopped Chip Kelly, wasn't it?
Right.
That was the whole thing of acting like you were hurt. So yeah, you have three bullets now to take back.
Thank you.
To these fucking Brooklyn hipsters and their bullshit thing.
No, I think the Brooklyn hipsters like soccer. Isn't that the thing that
I don't know.
Hsters like soccer now?
Throw in the face of EDM bros, then.
Will do.
The reason that Joe didn't know what the fuck he was talking about is that was Vito's fucking story. I was so pissed. Sorry I put you in that stupid thing, Joe. I'm like, why is Joe bringing up a story and doesn't know anything about it? And then you pointed out that it was Vito.
It was Vito all along.
Sorry about that, Joe. I thought you were the dope. We've got the fifth Beatle who I need more than anybody else, Stan the Man.
Yeah.
I got a gig for him when he wants to come. I got a thing for him to do on the show.
Okay.
Next time he comes in, I want to pitch it to him.
I love it because I would love to see more of Dan the Man. I'm a big fan.
Well, after the thing with Joe today, yeah, we definitely there's a spot open, but that wasn't your fault, Joe. I'm not going to hold it against you.
Okay.
Were you really feeling the pressure?
Yeah.
Like, why am I in this EDM conversation?
I wanted to be a part of it.
Well, the point was, I thought it was going to be, he's never been to an EDM show. But you guys are just like, he thinks he's cool. I'm like, why are they saying that? And then, why are they being so dumb?
But then I did try to bring up that, could you imagine him at an EDM show? Do you think?
Well, I don't know. Did he go to one?
He's never been to one. So he says.
But could you not like the show without going?
Like, if you like a certain genre of music, are you a true fan if you don't go?
Yeah, but EDM, I think, is different than anything else. I think you could be a fan of, let's say, Coldplay without ever going to a Coldplay show because it's all there. But the experience of listening to EDM in your car is not the same experience as being at a rave.
Right, and it has more about the culture and the dancing and the drugs or whatever than it does the music. Would you say the same thing for, say, like a Fish fan or a Dead fan?
Well,
of the Dead?
I will say this. I don't think anyone enjoys Fish without attending the shows. I think you can listen to the Dead music and enjoy those shows.
But Fish is only for live consumption?
It's more so than the Dead. People just shit on the Fish studio albums constantly. It's like you can't listen to the studio albums. You gotta listen to the live bootlegs. That's all you got.
Yeah, but there's a difference between that, too.
But a Fish fan, if you were to get into a conversation with a Fish fan and you knew every album and you could talk about it at length.
It's all about the shows. It's all about going to, like,
they would feel like you were not a fan of the show.
Like, how many shows you've been to?
I mean,
that's the question. And if it's been 0, then like, gosh, you don't know what Fish is about.
You're not about that Fish life.
Exactly.
But they're really saying you're not doing the drugs, right? That's what they mean.
Right.
It's not that the band is any better listening to a bootleg than going to the show. It's about the experience of being together and doing the drugs. That's why I was trying to set Joe up. I didn't know where the fuck he went with it, and then I figured out it wasn't his. Is Dan heading in here?
He's in a meeting until 2:30.
Ah. Okay. I'm just having that kind of luck today. I'm just fucking I'm swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
But not connecting.
Yeah, I didn't know he was important enough to be in big meetings.
Oh, yeah, Dan's very important. Yeah. Dan's probably the number one employee of this place. Like, if you were to draft and you had a chance to, like, pick a Sirius, I think you'd probably take Dan.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Over everybody. on-air personalities?
Sometimes when I see Dan in a conversation in the hall, I'll just sidle up and just start nodding in agreement.
I know if they did the same thing, I'd probably be put on waivers right now.
Don't say that. Fuck the waiver wire. Fuck that.
I heard you got a new gig.
I'll be on Gas Digital with Louis J. Gomez.
So Gomez is your boss?
Yeah, the real ass dude would technically be a boss of mine, yes.
The real ass boss? Wow, that's exciting.
Where do you do your show out of now?
It'll be out of Alphabet City, Lower East Side.
Are you going to be in that apartment?
Yeah.
So that dude's bed is right next to his setup.
Yeah.
So that's where you're going to do your show?
Yeah.
Say yeah.
It's
going to be good fucking radio. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
What app are you going to use to get there?
I'm going to use the Get app.
No.
It's $9. I mean, it's Alphabet City.
Here's the deal. That show is your future, not this one. And, you know how Don said this thing of you can't be doing a show on the outside of this one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, Chris does. And he's like, what? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Like what Chris does. I go, he's working for Louis J. Gomez.
Oh, no.
Well, what was your old thing?
The old network was, this is not good.
What are your feet doing?
It was, my feet I'm getting the restless leg syndrome. Not good.
Not good, he says again over and over.
Yeah. Oh, the old network was, blanking.
Okay. That's the drug stuff. Amy Schumer was in a giant fight with the internet and had to eventually tell them I think she had to get around to apologizing, right? She did a joke about the thigh gap. Oh, there's our girl right there.
Yeah, she made a joke saying, Taylor Swift, that's not a thigh gap, this is a thigh gap. And it's just a picture of her jumping at the beach. Here's the thing.
Do you see who's in the foreground of this, though?
Yeah, Bridget Everett.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
But I think that here's where I'm confused about the thigh gap conversation. I think that there is actually a difference in what the definition is, and I don't think that we are all unified on what a thigh gap is.
All right, let's go, Joe, and then Chris, say what you think the thigh gap is.
Okay, the thigh gap is the literal gap in the thigh between, like, on a more muscular thigh between the, I guess, the taint and the thigh area.
What do you think it is?
This is the thigh gap, I'm telling you right now. Yeah. It's a woman when she is bent over and her legs are together, right? There's a triangle of light. You can see through a triangle. That's that gap from the ass.
So you're saying it's not the thigh to taint ratio?
No, it's not a thigh to taint ratio.
What do you think?
Okay, now this is what I'm trying to figure out. And from what I can tell on the internet, the thigh gap to men is what Chris is explaining.
Right.
But to women, for some reason, they are posting on like Tumblr and stuff like that. It almost looks like anorexic, like very thin, almost like Barbie doll legs. So it's not like the curve of your leg creates a gap here, but it's that your whole legs cannot even touch. You know what I mean? Like
even
at no
when they're
point,
together.
Even when your feet are together. So here's the example of what Chris is talking about. This is her thighs are wide enough that they could touch at some place, but there's a tiny gap near her vagina. Okay.
The triangle of light.
Now find another picture of, say, like a Tumblr picture where women are saying, this is a thigh gap. That's a totally different thing.
That's just legs that are so thin that they never
touch. Yeah. I don't care which one it is. I just want everyone to be on the same page.
Now, where was Joe going with his thigh to?
I think he was trying to. I think that what he was trying to say was the same as Chris. And when I said that there is a keyhole area near the vagina, I think he was calling that the taint area.
Yeah, I was calling that the taint.
All right.
So here's two comparisons of women saying, "Oh man, thigh gap goals. I want a thigh gap," and that's what they want on the right. But on the left is what men want.
Yeah, but I thought what they were talking about was more the right. I did not think that men would ever go looking for a space there. I didn't think that would matter so much to men.
The diamond cutter.
Yeah.
Chris is showing us.
It's that goddamn triangle of life.
Here is Ed. Ed, what's up?
Hey, you guys all got it wrong. The thigh gap's where you put that dick.
Hey, John, what's up, pal?
Hey, Benningtons. Both of y'all kind of have it right. The thigh gap is if a lady's just standing around, just standing, relaxed, it's the gap between her knees and what would appear to be in a pair of pants, the bottom of her pussy lips. So it's the amount of that light, and it bows out on each side. And down in the South, the saying is, the bigger the gap, you would be saying, man, you can throw a dead cat through that thing. Look. And they know the thigh gap. That's a reference to the thigh gap.
So that is more the idea of the whole leg is much thinner than this curvy, big butt, big thigh, but there's a tiny gap when you lean over.
But why would you take it away from the girl there on the right who has nothing but gap from her vagina straight down to her Nikes?
Yes.
She can't get anything together.
She cannot push those legs together if she tried.
Orwell in Illinois.
Yeah. Years ago, Father Tom referred to the thigh gap as factory air.
All right, so they would call it factory air.
Yeah.
That lady got some factory air.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still don't know if we're all on the same page, though. I just want one definition. Do you feel like
I think it's up to Obama and his new Supreme Court appointee to come up with that definition. And I don't know whether he should be able to appoint somebody until, we have an election coming up. What's wrong with waiting a year?
Just fucking get your ducks in a row.
Well, I just think the definition needs to be made because I think women think one of these is what men want, and I think men are actually more interested in the other. I think men are more interested in the curvier thigh that makes this weird heart-shaped.
I don't think men are as interested as you think. I think this is a meme that people can talk about and waste time with, but I don't think a man goes out looking for a thigh gap in his day.
So it's just a faked thing of conversation, like, yeah, I love that gap, but they don't really care about it.
Yeah, they don't mean it. It's something that they'll just, like I said, they'll meme up, they'll write about, but they don't give a shit. You don't run into it. It's like caring what a woman can standing broad jump. You're not going to fucking care. Jack, Georgia.
Hey, this thigh gap thing, I understand that some men seem to think that they want to seek it out, but all I see it as is upper thigh rickets. Back in the day, rickets bowed the legs out, pirates' legs.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is today. It's actually kind of sickening to me.
Sexy pirates' legs.
I'm not going to hold it against a girl who has rickets either. I mean, I'm going to go for more. But he has come up with a point that a bow-legged woman, which the right there is a little closer to. The great thing, though, is I like to go swimming with them.
Yes. Great for swimming. But here's the thing. That one on the right looks very Barbie dollish. Like that there's so much of a plateau at the vagina area. It's entirely different.
All right, do we need to break, Chris, or?
Yeah, we should break.
All right, why don't we break? We'll be back with, Gail, one of your favorites of all time.
That's right. We'll be back with Bridget Everett.
Bridget Everett, her new tour starts Saturday, March 12th, playing the Wealthy Theater in Grand Rapids, Michigan. BridgetEverett.net for dates and tickets. New song we'll play when we get back called Hit the Ground Fucking. And the album Pound It is available on Amazon and iTunes. And her Twitter is just Bridget Everett. Just Bridget Everett. We'll be right back. Bennington Show.
Bennington is back, and we've got Bridget Everett in studio.
Good morning.
Bridget's new tour starts Saturday, March 12th at the Wealthy Theater in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to BridgetEverett.net for dates and tickets. Bridget is also featured on the new Hit the Ground Fucking.
We were just playing that.
And you can pick up Bridget's album, Pound It, available on Amazon and iTunes.
That's right. You know, my friend wrote that song, and they just made a video for it, and it's all dogs. And
Yeah, we were just watching, man. So
my dog Poppy got to make her first showbiz debut.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I love that, like, kind of 70s sound to that, though. The cowbell's going.
Yes.
It's got that real...
There's Poppy.
Poppy is the cutest.
So what happens to Poppy when you hit the road?
When I hit the road, she has a what do you call it? Like an armory of sitters that like.
Is that right?
Yeah. She's very adaptable, but she does not like it when I leave the house. I was going to try to snuggle her in or smuggle her in today. But
Can we do it if it's a service dog?
It's service dogs, yeah, they'll get in, yeah.
I got to get that certificate. I just feel guilty, like, applying for that, knowing that it'd be a sham.
I know people who have done it who it's completely faked because they can't officially ask you what service that the dog provides. So if you have the little card and says, so because of that, my friend can take her dog on any flight just sitting on her lap. It doesn't,
I know, like, I've been at different places. Down south, they're okay with people bringing their dogs into a restaurant, and some people are like, could you imagine? I'm like, I don't know. I've lived in houses that had dogs.
I know.
No one died from it. Why are we worrying? There's a dog here.
I mean, I think I used to be like, what? Why are people always, their dogs are everywhere? But, now that I have one, I was like, I want her with me.
Well, Gail has the same kind of you got this needy, prissy, blonde dog.
Yes,
is it fluffy?
She's very fluffy. I'm going to show you pictures. She's needy. She's a rescue, so she's very attached to me. But she's not little enough that I can get away with taking her everywhere.
But she is very harmless, though.
She is.
Well, except for other dogs. She's great around people, but another dog she gets pissed
at. Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Little doggy booties. Oh,
yeah. That's Birdie.
Yeah.
Oh, Birdie, that's so sweet. Poppy spent her formative years, having babies against her will, so I feel like, she has a license to be needy.
Right.
Birdie's the same way, right?
Birdie, well, she was on the street.
She was raped.
I was trying to, be gentle about it, but Poppy was getting pounded out. That raped just over and over and over. Her uterus is dragging on the floor.
She was like a pregnant teen on the street.
Yeah. Right, and she gives off that thing of she's seen too much.
She does.
Yeah.
She has a distant look in her eye.
It's hard though, you start following all those accounts on Instagram, and it's like, now I just want 1,000 little dogs running around my house.
It is.
With their stretched out little vaginas.
The thing is too, is like, now you just can't go to a pet store and buy a dog. Everybody will hate you and beat you up for it.
I know.
You have to get a rescue dog.
You must.
Yeah.
You must get a rescue.
But I watch that dog show every year. It was just on the other night. I love it so much, but I don't think I could ever buy a dog, not knowing what they do.
I'm thinking about getting a rescue child. Just getting a child that was raped.
That's so good of you. It's really good of you.
Just a beaten and raped child that I have. Doesn't ever want me to leave the house.
And then people come up to you on the street. What kind of child is that? It's a rescue.
Yeah.
Oh, Birdie 1 and Birdie 2.
Yeah. But back on the road. But I just saw a picture of you at the beach, but you're in the New York Daily News.
Oh,
I think it was the Daily News.
That was an older picture. I think it was from when I was with Amy Schumer. I think we were in Martha's Vineyard or something. Oh yeah,
you guys are so crazy. Because Amy got in trouble again with somebody over something.
I mean, I think, she was making a thigh gap joke, but not in reference to Taylor Swift, because she was on the red carpet at the Grammys. She's got a sick body, supermodel body, but I don't think Amy was making fun of her at all. If anything, she was making fun of us,
Right.
But she can't say or do anything without people losing their minds. This is crazy.
This is what's happened with the internet now. Every single statement brings outrage of some kind.
There's a think piece on everything. You can't I can't go on the line anymore because people are telling me who I should vote for, how I should feel about, a thigh gap and just who gives a shit. I can say shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who gives a shit?
It is true. By the way, I just saw this. Cruz has now passed Donald Trump in the national polls. So anyone who doesn't want Donald Trump, we could end up getting Ted Cruz.
I mean, what's worse?
Fucked up we are.
So bad.
We are so fucked up right now.
I was just talking to my friends. It's I can't believe that there's not a reasonable, well-rounded, sort of moderate candidate. At least,
they don't exist.
No, it's crazy.
We might have to draft someone into this.
Against their will.
Yeah, somebody that doesn't want to do it.
I know.
I mean, somebody who has free time, a Dave Letterman, he is available. He's not doing anything right now.
Jon Stewart? I don't know.
Jon Stewart is off. I saw him just hanging out at basketball the other night with his kid.
That'd be a good ticket, Letterman and Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart together.
For the forced presidency.
The forced presidency.
I won't go.
I know.
We come to your house with guns, forcing you to leave and go out. All right, the new tour, have you got the set list together? Is it changing? Is it?
Well, I'm going to go to Australia and I've never played I haven't done my solo show down there before, so I'll probably do greatest hits, give them titties, dick in my mouth, all that stuff. And most then I'm doing some shows in Grand Rapids, and then I'll be back at Joe's Pub, and I'm working on some new songs for that. I like to test them out on the home base because New York really lets you know.
Right, exactly.
So we'll see, but everything, I've been in a real, what do you call it when you're in a drought, and I'm starting to write songs about tickle fights. I'm this is ridiculous.
So you don't know when this song is going to, the song shows up when it shows up.
It shows up when it shows up. Yeah. Sometimes they come, a whole bunch of them will come, and my friend Jim that wrote that song, Hit the Ground Fucking, we have a, songwriters group. And so it used to force me to write one song a month, which is a really good thing to have, a gun to your head, but we haven't been doing that. We've been on a break, but we're coming back in next week. So
there are some people get up and they write every day for 4 or 5 hours, and you're like, how could that possibly happen? You know what I mean? And there's other people who are just like, hey, if it shows up, I write it down.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think they say Stephen King writes that way, that he wakes up and just sits down and works on something for a couple hours a day, every single day. Sometimes it comes to something, sometimes
those old songwriters would have offices.
Yeah.
They would literally have an office that they would
think that helps.
Check it. Yeah.
If you have to go somewhere, if you have to go to work, then you're going to do it. But if I'm at home and Poppy's there, she wants to snuggle, what am I going to do?
You look over at the TV and suddenly you see TMZ flickering. You're like, what? Yeah. What is going on right now?
What is that?
There's got to be a song, though, and a little raped up little rescue baby.
Let's hope. Let's hope. What rhymes with rape? Let's just
grape, got a pussy like a grape now.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. 2-5. The hits are coming out hard today.
Bridget Everett is in studio with us. Bridget's new tour starts Saturday, March 12th at the Wealthy Theater in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to bridgeteverett.net for dates and tickets, and you can pick up Bridget's album, Pound It, available on Amazon and iTunes.
And it is an outrageous show that she puts on. There's no one else out there doing this, what used to be considered old cabaret, New York cabaret, with kind of rock, what's happening now. And you can't, and comedy, you can barely explain it. You just have to show up for it.
It's sort of like, it's like being in a wave pool. You don't really know how jacked up you're going to get till you're there, but it's fun.
Yeah. You could get jacked. It could happen.
But so could I. Usually, I've got a lot of bruises the next day. I'm like, where'd that come from?
Do you really?
Yeah, usually, yeah.
Because you get all pumped up on adrenaline.
Yeah, and I fall down and but it's just, you gotta, that's like when I feel the most alive. It's really exciting.
Yeah, that is an amazing thing that we can never capture what it feels like to actually, the live performance itself, particularly when there's a certain feeling of danger in the room. We can never capture that on vinyl. We can never capture it on video.
Yeah.
Film. It just has to be there.
Comedy especially, I think, is served best
live,
live and in person.
But I've been watching some, various specials lately, and I think that it's getting better. I don't know if it's just I have a better TV now or whatever.
Well, there's littler cameras, I think, have helped a lot. The kind of a GoPro type camera that can move around as if you're live. But it's still, there's something about just being
it's always better to be in the
club,
room.
man,
I was listening to your new series,
the GPS,
just thinking about how many great shows and in different cities. I was listening to the Detroit episode.
Is that an amazing one?
Yeah.
It just is a really there's so much that's never going to be recaptured. I felt like I was missing out on a whole part of life.
Detroit, especially that one was really fun because it was not as apparent as some of the other scenes.
Yeah.
There was a lot more digging deeper to find what was there.
Well, Detroit is...
I like to because I learned so much listening to
it. Right. It's fun to figure that out, but it always has to do with the scene. Like you were saying, that you get together with a writing club and you push each other. Because if you're left on your own, you got nothing to worry about. So even if you look at London, none of those guys were writing music, and then they're like, hey, did you hear that the Beatles are writing music and they're getting paid for it? So all these other guys started saying, shit, we should start.
Right.
We've got to have original.
Yeah.
It never would have dawned on them. They were fine. They were having a good enough time playing that. But Detroit was great because it was one of the few places in the country that had a big room. Right?
What was that room called again?
It was a Grande, I think.
Grande
Ballroom. Ballroom. And the thing there is, you had to fill out that room. You had to do it. And there's a documentary on it that you got to see. But they would say when Janis Joplin came in, people would yell, kick out the jams at her. That's where that got started, where people were like, go bigger. They wanted everyone to come in and be big and be loud to fill that room. But if you're playing a small room, you naturally bring it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So. And then when we did San Francisco in the same way, I felt like because there was so much outdoor festivals and stuff like that the music kind of followed the feeling of being outside and congregating together. It's kind of strange how, it really does morph to suit the live performance.
Yeah, for sure. And outside is like a whole different animal. It's just you sort of just goes on and on and on. So it's a challenge to whether how big or small to be in those places, especially with Jumbotron. I mean, when did Jumbotron start? I have no idea.
That that changes everything, doesn't it? Because now you have to be big, but also small. You can't have that big crazy face, like a Liza Minnelli face. And then you have her on a Jumbotron. I was like, what? But she was, brought up to reach the back of every theater.
Well, it's interesting. I did that Oddball Festival last summer, that comedy festival, and even there's 18,000 people there, or whatever. But there's a jumbotrons, and even people in the 6th row are watching the screens and not the person right in front of them. But I'm totally jumping around here. But you guys watch the Grammys, right? The other night, my friend was saying that that Lady Gaga tribute, that it looked like she was doing a Liza Minnelli impersonation.
Yeah, there was. It was definitely more theater than Bowie. I'm like, do you know what Bowie was about? Because he wasn't that grand gesture. His thing was very underground. You know what I mean?
It was an interesting take on it. I mean, it wasn't maybe it wasn't my favorite thing I've seen her do, but it was weird.
Yeah.
She went for it.
Well, you know what the thing is that I was happy with Bowie is that people were remembering, because I didn't know so many people felt the same way about him that I did. You know what I mean? Because he was never, that mainstream guy, or if he was, it just happened at certain points of his career. But most of the time, it was definitely.
I mean,
smart.
That morning on social media that I saw was incredible. Just Instagram that day was just everybody's pictures and tributes, and I think he affected. Well, I was like, oh, I have good friends. My friends have good taste.
Right, I know. I feel that
so
way
much.
too.
But it was really cool to see that. I was happy that he got such a big nod at the Grammys. It was cool.
Yeah, and I think it was one of those. There's something about him, when you have, all your heroes, your rock stars, and they're aging, and you expect it in a general sense, but there was something about him that I don't think anyone would have been prepared for it because he was so youthful.
Yeah.
He had such lightness about him.
Yeah.
That I think that that's what it really took people by surprise.
I was like, he's like one of those people that you always want to see on the streets of New York, and I never did.
no.
I was like, I don't know where. It's like one time I saw Richard Simmons walking down the stairwell at a restaurant. That was exciting. But there's like certain people that are like phantoms or something. Like you just can't believe that they're real. Like he was one of those people, I think.
Yeah, I always had an eye out for him as well. And the thing is, I've heard from people that we probably walked by him a million times, that he was one of those guys who knew how to turn it on and turn it off and how to fit into a crowd. But, you know, he was kind of doing a theatrical thing when nobody was, you know, like no one was thinking about the theater of rock and roll back when you started doing that stuff.
Yeah, and how much he brought in, you know, costume and style and, you know, in a non-costume way. Like, it was just his actual style.
It didn't seem costumey.
Yeah.
You know, it just seemed like part of the vibe of what he was doing, which is so cool. And I love that SNL performance of him, and he has Klaus Nomi and Joey Arias singing with him. It's so New York. It's just so cool. I don't know.
Well, even just him having that dress on that night, because that was like late 70s, freaked out people. Just freaked them out.
Yeah.
You know, like you didn't have to go as far in those days to lay people out. But he knew how to do it.
Now you got to show up in a meat dress, I guess. I don't know.
You got to go pretty far. You got to. Well, you know, by the time we got to Marilyn Manson, we're like, what does this guy have to do to finally shock you? To finally let you know. I remember, Alice Cooper, who was part of the Detroit thing, because that was a real rock and roll thing. That was the first time anyone brought ugly to the stage. Like, we're filthy, and people were like, fuck, this is scary as shit. People were like literally afraid of Alice Cooper.
It's so crazy. I waited tables in Scottsdale in the 90s, and he would come in with, like, he lived there, and I mean, maybe he still does, with his golf shirt and his family, and you're just like, what's going on right now?
He's a Republican. He votes Republican. He's a Christian again, like he was when he was a little kid. He's back to that.
Yeah, it's so funny that that's ended up being his persona then, if that's his true...
It still is. You just saw him the other night with Hollywood Vampires. He doesn't give a shit. I mean, he looks exactly the same as 1972.
He really does. That is pretty strange, right?
He must be doing his own makeup because it's on point. It still looks the same.
Yeah, it still looks the same. And the funny thing is, people are like, well, he hasn't aged. I go, he looked old then. Yeah. He looked old when he was 25.
He got all his aging out of the way. He just did it really early. And then he plateaued.
Did you like the Johnny Depp on stage, or was that amateur night for you?
I thought that it was a little silly. And I thought that the reason why for Johnny Depp in particular was considering, you're known as a movie star, and, definitely go for it. Do this project because that's what you want to do. But then it kind of just ended up looking like somebody who was playing a rock star. Like it looked very costumey what he was doing.
So does Joe Perry. You know what I mean?
Joe Perry's earned it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. And also
that spoken word bit that he did. I was like, oh, please stop.
And his, I don't know, like I guess his gothy train conductor hat was a little strange. It was a weird...
There's a goth train coming through. Someone's got to drive that train.
You're going to see, like, girls walking around 14th Street with that hat on for the next 2 years.
Yeah, I think it'll work. Scalia was wearing a kind of a cool Spanish hat when he was... they were showing him at the Supreme Court. I'm like, when is that hat coming around?
It was like a stylish... Like a brim...
Yeah, it was brimless, and it was just... Yeah, that thing, like something he kind of looks like the Pope would wear it.
Wait, what's that? What's he doing? That's just
that's just him being Supreme Court dude.
Do they get to pick their own hats?
Yeah, I think they do. I think everybody can pick their own brim, and I'm sure he's a Catholic, so he thought of himself as like a secular monk.
Maybe Obama picks their hat as well, nominates them. This shall be your hat.
I never saw Obama in a brim. That would be great.
I don't know if I've ever seen Obama in a hat.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the one of him smoking. Remember that picture of him smoking pot? He's got this kind of
back
great,
in the 70s?
Yeah. That's the only one I can think of.
Yeah, that's a great hat. Too,
He's got like a pork pie hat on, which I'm a big fan of a pork pie.
Yeah.
But
that would have been rock if Johnny Depp showed up in a pork pie hat. I would love that with all those guys in a little pork pie hat.
That's that weird New York City summer look that you can rock because it comes in from Cuba.
Right.
Did you see Obama's going to Cuba?
No,
yeah,
I
he just
didn't
announced
say that.
it this morning that he's going to be the first president to go down to Cuba. And
oh, wow, that's exciting. When's that happening?
It's got to happen by the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got a hurry. He's got a lot of stuff to get done.
Yeah, he's got a lot of shit to do.
Did you see him talking about what if Trump were president? Like that was just something he's like.
Trump was pissed. So.
Somebody put up a clip of Trump on an old Stern clip of him, and he's like talking about like when Melania pooped, and it was just so bizarre. I was like, oh, somebody wants us to be our president. Like I've never seen Melania poop. Such a weird thing.
Bridget Everett is in studio with us. Bridget's new tour starts Saturday, March 12th at the Wealthy Theater in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to bridgeteverett.net for dates and tickets. You can pick up Bridget's album, Pound It, available on Amazon and iTunes, and follow her on Twitter at Bridget Everett.
She is the greatest right now. It's being recognized all over. Every year it gets bigger for you.
It's good.
Yeah. But you're ready for it, though. None of it seems to... I never see you looking like you're pressured by a gig.
No, I love it. I mean, I love singing. You know, that's the best part of it, to get to do what you want to do. So I'm stoked. But the last shows I've been doing, a lot more people are coming. I definitely feel the shift, and people are like singing along to all the songs, and it's a good reward after digging for so long.
Isn't that funny? It certainly does hit that tipping point where you're like, wait, how did everyone just get this? Where have you been the last 5 years?
Yeah.
I'm busting my ass here.
It's good though, it's whether there's 10 people, and there have been 10 people when I've done shows before, or 600 or something, or 18,000 or whatever the audience may be for the thing I'm doing. It's like, there's always somebody new. There's always somebody coming for the first time. So you got to go balls to the wall every time.
Yeah, it's true.
Or
isn't
tits
it?
to the ceiling, whatever it's going to be.
It's always somebody's first time.
Always. Yeah. Not Poppy's, though. I'll tell you that much.
Poppy.
Poor Poppy.
Boy, that little dog's been through, that little rescue.
God.
Poppy and what was yours again?
Birdie.
Yeah, Poppy and Birdie.
They seem like old friends, in a nursing home, Poppy and Birdie.
Poppy and Birdie. It'll be a short story, you're right now. Now, we have an aspiring young songwriter here, and Joe, you've written a song, right?
Yeah, I did. For Bridget.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
oh, exciting.
Now, is this something that you hope Bridget will cover, or is it more that she's your muse?
I'm going to go with both. And also, if you want to use it, feel free.
Okay, good.
Yeah. All right, let's take a listen.
Bridget Everett, it's better than all the rest. Better at singing songs and wearing risque dress. We hang on your words. Like every day, cracking us up. Baby, I would never drink red. Bridget Everett.
I want that to be my walk-on music.
Yeah. I kind of figure if you cover a song that is about you, and you're singing your own name, it would be a little different.
How sad is that?
Yeah.
There's so much love in that song, though. There's a tenderness and an
Yeah, there
adoration.
is.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you put much into it, and I also think you could be sued because it sounds like another song.
Yeah. I mean, well, we don't need to bring up what song that is.
Right.
You can do whatever you want with it,
But can you write an original, or you can only write a parody?
I can write an original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, you rap, but you never do it anymore.
Yeah, I can rap too, but I just haven't found that spark, that special someone
All right,
to
we're
write
going through
that
the same
rap thing for.
Maybe you
know?
could be in the Songwriters Club.
That's right.
The Tuesday night Songwriters Club.
Do you
I'm there.
freestyle or do you have to,
I mean, there's only one way to find out.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Put on a
Okay.
beat, Chris.
Put on a beat, Chris. Do you
Sure.
have
Chris,
hurry up.
Chris, get
Chris.
the beat.
Yeah, it's coming.
You're the hype man, aren't you, Chris?
Pull up
Wanna yell
Joe's
some
beats.
stuff?
Hey, can you put on my beats?
Oh. Ooh, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
I like your swagger.
Okay, turn it up. Turn up my beat a little. Okay. I smoke my blunts so heavy, I'm ready. I'm about to get this shit better than machetes. Cut through wood, whatever. I'm in the hood, and when I get these bitches, you know what they wanna do. It's me, Joey, Joey, fucking me all day and night. Get it, lovely, cause I seem to be killing these MCs. Bridget Everett in studio. What up? All right, there we go.
That's a smash hit right there.
Smash hit. That wasn't my beat, Chris. Next time.
You'd have to keep a folder on your desktop of beats.
Joe's beats.
Joe's beats.
All right, Tim Knight said that we were stereotyping Alice Cooper. I don't know. I think when you find out that a guy who spent his career dressing up and singing about the devil then turns back to Christianity, I think that could be pointed out.
Unfair what you've said.
I remember I was seeing a Cooper show and pretty sure that he was hung. That people yelled out and
That he was what?
That he hung himself.
You thought it looked so real.
It was real at the time to me. And I was very whacked out and I was very young and I'm like, I've seen a suicide take place. And then suddenly it's an encore and it's 18 and I'm like, I saw a rebirth and I was so happy.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you haven't seen that you wish you could have seen?
Wow, that's
You get asked that a lot?
really, yeah. I mean, it's a really great question, but mostly I think I would have loved to seen people at their peak. Like I would have loved to seen Elvis when he was just flat out crazy hillbilly Elvis early days, man. Just crazy shit that went on. Like I would have loved to seen Jerry Lee in the 50s.
Yeah.
You know?
And that would have seemed so incredibly dangerous and exciting. Like, could you imagine that sound being the first time you'd ever heard it?
Right.
You know, that would be completely flooring.
So that would be, I mean, the Doors would have been amazing to see, right? By the way, there's somebody that could never pull off an outdoor show. Anytime that the Doors
really?
Yeah, they never could fill that. I think because that big Hammond organ, it just disappears into the sky somehow.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that you really need to come in a little thicker.
I think any of the punk rock groups that were playing CBGBs, I think because you would have been able to see them so intimately.
What that fire was like in there.
Exactly, how to be in such a small space and get to see the Ramones, like when they were, you know, just on the scene for the first time, and then be able to be feet away from them too.
Feeling the sweat.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Little Richard. What was that documentary that he was in? It's like, there's a whole bunch of people and like they show, there's like, he's riding to the gig and like the cops are like, all right, you gotta, you know, keep a cool, stay at the back of the stage. And like, he pushes all the amps forward and everything and people are just losing their fucking minds. It's so
He
good.
was amazing. And like literally he was like doing a Bowie act before anyone. Like he was in the 1950s wearing makeup on stage.
And didn't James Brown sort of like, he came after him, right? So Little Richard was like really like the innovator of all that, it seems like.
But he played with that kind of mix of femininity and masculinity so much.
Yeah, he definitely brought the feminine thing when, you know,
I mean, who was wearing makeup before him? He was doing eyeliner first, wasn't he?
Yeah, it seems like it. And the Jerry curl and the whole thing. I mean, he was Prince. He was Bowie. He was doing that whole scene.
Have you guys been talking about that Prince passport picture? I'm sure you've already talked about that.
Put it up. It's on the
such
iPad.
a good glamour shot.
It's so incredible. It
looks like a picture from the 80s or something. Like he looks so young. He really just look at that beautiful, pristine. not like Alice Cooper is the antithesis. Like this is like
How do you even get lighting like that? For like, where's that light
Which
coming
post office
from?
is that?
Yeah, where's the big shadow not going across his face?
It's just a warm glow just coming from
He
like.
just comes in and lands that perfect pout.
Now, Joey, you're from up there. Did you ever see Prince in Minneapolis walking around?
I saw him once at a Vikings game. He was in one of the boxes there. I never saw him walking around.
Like, he'll come and do shows at clubs, right?
No. Like, he's kind of an enigma over there, yeah.
Well, it's weird because he came and did a show at the Highline a couple years ago, just showed up, like that same club that the Roots play at. And everybody said it was just unbelievable. I went back and watched the Super Bowl show that he did. It was phenomenal. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life.
So damn good.
And he was covering other people. He came out covering the Foo Fighters. Like, not even doing Prince songs. He was doing Hendrix and Foo Fighters. And I'm like, this is fucking unbelievable. And then he's doing Purple Rain in the Rain.
Oh,
come on. Like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was so damn good. I was watching that Super Bowl with a big group of friends, and all of us were just on our feet, just screaming at the TV.
Well, there was,
we were like, oh my God!
I mean, he obviously like watched a lot of Little Richard footage when he was a kid, but like they're my jam, both of them.
Everybody. I mean, if you look at him, you can see Smokey Robinson, some songs, Stevie Wonder, some songs. Yeah. But they said like, so it's pouring rain, and and all this, if you look at this stage, it's slick as hell, right?
Yeah.
And the guy came backstage to make sure that, you know, he would even come out. And he goes, Prince, is there anything I could do? And Prince goes like this. Yeah. Can you make it rain a little more? And then
yes.
And then he just went out and fucking destroyed.
It's so incredible.
Oh my God, I saw him a couple years ago at Madison Square Garden. I was like, I just hope he sings The Beautiful Ones tonight. That's all I want him to do.
That's my favorite.
And he opens with it. It was so, I mean, can you imagine just opening with a ballad? He doesn't give a shit. He's Prince.
He doesn't give a shit about anything.
Oh my God.
He's so incredible. I've never seen him live.
Oh my God, you have to.
He is... You know what? He's gotten off the thing, too, of going around and playing all the instruments, because he used to do that in the 80s. Just move over and he's playing keyboards, you know. But
he just, like, he looks like he loves it so much. That's also what's so cool to see. Look at that.
And he's just pure sex. Like, he's just
he is.
Sex just incarnate. It's crazy. Which is so funny when you think of him. He's just like this little guy. But to me, he's like the sexiest thing.
He's a little pocket rocket.
Ever walked the earth.
I wonder what I might, if I ever hooked up with Prince, I would videotape it. I mean, I'm not down to do a sex tape, but I would like to see what that looks like myself. Like just a tiny little thing like that.
A friend of mine was plucked out of a club with him one time. Really? He took her back, right? Because she's this beautiful chick. And he gave her matching pajamas with him.
Yes!
And then he smelled her and took a nap.
So much better than like just like getting pounded out all night. Like, no, we had a cuddle puddle and matching pajamas.
Some nice silk pajamas.
And then there's 23 missing minutes. I don't know what happened. Completely blanked out.
Oh, please let there never be a late in life Prince scandal. I can't like handle that. Like,
see, this would, you know, like if something happened to Prince, it would be the same way we felt like with Bowie. Like when you don't realize, you know, that everyone secretly thinks about Prince more than they ever say.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just like Prince. You know?
Just like sometimes you're walking down the street, fucking Prince, man.
Yeah. Well, just even like you saying, bringing up The Beautiful Ones, which was like probably the 7th, you know, single maybe released on that album, and yet we're all like, fuck that song. So fucking good.
It's so good. That might be my favorite, The Beautiful Ones. It's such a good song.
I mean, there's so much of his music that I just love. Like, but if you asked me on a different day of the week, I'd tell you a different favorite song
same
every
way.
day. But he's a go-to, like always. Whenever he comes up on my shuffle, I never skip it.
That's true.
He's like one of the only ones.
It's also appropriate for any party.
Yeah.
There's not a party where you're like, it's not really a Prince party.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. It always is.
Life is a Prince party. Those were like, I used to listen to Purple Rain just back in the day in my room, just getting up and like moving the needle, laying and listening to it, crying, getting up, moving the needle, listening to it, crying. That and like some Chicago tracks.
You know what's funny too about that movie is, like, he wrote Jungle Love too. You know, like he wrote those fucking songs and gave them away.
Really?
Yeah. That movie is also
so good.
I could watch that at any point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what would be going on in my day that I would say, no, I don't have time to watch this. I always want to watch it.
Well, you know, Vanity just passed away the other day.
sad.
And that was her part that Apollonia got. That,
Do you know the backstory on that, or like what happened? I read that, but I didn't know.
I don't know. I think whatever, you know, was that they broke up, they were together, you know.
But he had originally had her in mind for that part?
Yeah. Well, he was writing all of her material and dressing her.
Right.
And the band. There was like all those bands that Prince was like, I'm going to give you Sexy Girl. That'll be your hit. You know what I mean? It was like a one-man Motown just handing out hits to people.
And I always heard that, like, Wendy or Lisa, one of them was, like, really, like, in there writing a lot of these songs with him and got no credit. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I mean, I know that they were all, like, living together, so that could be blurred lines, but who got the bath together? I never really remember who put the... Was it Lisa in or Wendy? Who was in the tub first?
I think it was Lisa.
How's the water?
Wendy?
Yes, Lisa.
Is the water warm enough?
Yes, Lisa.
Shall we begin?
Yes, Lisa.
That's amazing.
Oh my God, I'm going to go home and listen to this right now.
We should do a GPS Minneapolis, but it's only going to be Prince. We won't play anyone else.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, there won't be any complaints.
Is there anybody else that came out of Minneapolis that's big? Like, I mean, obviously, not
Replacements
Prince,
came out. Was Husker Du from Minneapolis?
They're from Minneapolis too.
And, you know, Dylan was born in Minnesota, but I don't know if he ever played there.
He left the moment he had a chance when he was 20.
Like you.
Yeah,
the
kind of
same
like me.
as you.
You're so Dylan.
I'm like Bob Dylan.
In your own way.
Are you guys going to do a Kansas GPS? That's where I'm from.
Well, we got the band Kansas, obviously.
Are they actually from there? They've got to be, right?
Yeah.
How outside would that be? And Melissa Etheridge. I can't think of anything else.
Well, you know, one of the greatest songs of all time is like Kansas City. So early on, people were thinking about heading in that direction. But Kansas, to me, is that place that they welcome a lot of like big band, like Midwest bands like Styx, Cheap Trick.
Yeah.
There was always this real tradition of, we want a big fucking rock show.
Yeah.
Bring some color into our world. You know, there was never any, hey, Lou Reed's coming. No one cared about that.
No.
Give us something big and over the top.
In fact, whenever like if I have my management company, I'm represented by the same people that represent Beck or something. And I'm like, oh, Beck's going to be playing Kansas City. You guys want to go? I'll get you tickets. And they're like, you mean the guy that sang Loser? Like, they have no...
They don't give a shit.
But Manilow comes to town. You better watch the fuck out.
We've got Bridget Everett in studio with us. Bridget's new tour starts Saturday, March 12th at the Wealthy Theater in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to BridgetEverett.net for dates and tickets. And Bridget's album, Pound It, is available on Amazon and iTunes.
Sweet.
I had people writing in about how much they love Beautiful Ones.
So good.
It is such a great one.
I Would Die For You, I think, is also my favorite.
God, you know, that is such... literally amazing album, movie, and that still hasn't got data. But, you know, like, really before that point, I'm not sure MTV was even playing Prince. There was this whole thing of they weren't playing black music.
Yeah, I remember that.
At first. Which is the craziest thing in the world.
It's a strange stance.
And by the way, you know who shamed them?
Who's that?
David
Bowie.
David Bowie
Yeah.
said, maybe you could start playing some fucking black music. I hate to wake you up, but you're not playing any black artists. I'm like, I don't know. Kids aren't really into black artists. Never have been. They've never done that well.
How soon after MTV started was Michael Jackson? Was that like just a couple of years?
Yeah, it would have been a couple years, which seems like, like a short time, but it doesn't. Oh, by the way, have you seen the Spike Lee on Michael Jackson, the documentary?
No.
This is fucking phenomenal. So he takes it from Michael as little Michael Jackson through the Jacksons, and then really the Off the Wall album. But there is so...
Is that a new thing, or is it been
Yeah, it's just about less than a month old, a couple weeks old. And it's really great. Like, there's stuff that you can see, like, Michael in his awkward years, where he was like 16 or 17, and then you just see this like little flash of what's coming. You'll just see these like little moves like, oh shit, that's above where the time was.
That's crazy.
Because it's funny that even Michael Jackson goes through those awkward teen years.
Yeah,
Knowing like how self-assured he was at like 5 years old or 6 years old singing all those hits.
How was he able to do that?
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand baby Michael Jackson. I don't understand how he was able to sing love songs the way he was, with not just talent, like not just the voice, but like that raw, like passion and power. Like he sounded like someone who had had their heart broken. Like, it's crazy to me.
That kind of makes you almost believe in past life stuff, like this little kid.
So weird. There's on ABC, there's he does a cover of a song that's like, I Don't Know Why I Love You, which I think is a Stevie Wonder song.
It's a Stevie Wonder, or it is Stevie Wonder. And he blows them away.
And he blows Stevie Wonder away with this version.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And that's saying something, because, Stevie Wonder is amazing. But the power and passion and just like heartbreak of him singing, I Don't Know Why I Love You, I think is the song. It blows my mind every time I hear it. It's like, gives me chills.
A little bit. Listen a little bit. Little Michael was the greatest.
Insane.
Greatest.
Like, his heart is being torn out of his chest. He's screaming. It's insane. How is a child able to get that emotion? Just forget the voice.
I mean, the connection and
crazy.
The heart and that. It's incredible.
I probably put that album on once a month. Like, at least once a month. I'm like, let's listen to ABC, go all the way through. And then that's like the peak of listening to it. It's the greatest.
I swear to God,
track.
in my life, I don't think I ever got past little Michael Jackson. Like, when I was a kid and saw him, like someone doing this and they're a kid,
right?
I was just like standing in front of the TV set, going back and forth. Where you get that stare going and leaning back and forth. My friend's like, sit down. But when you watch this, even when we were talking about he was in the awkward years, because he went to Philly and they were working with Gamble and Huff, there was like great shit there. There was really, really great stuff all the way through. And Off the Wall is a great fucking album. Maybe the best,
incredible.
Maybe the best disco album ever done. And all these different people were just coming on, and I was like, I don't know, I probably played this song about 2,500 times. Just different DJs were just like, I play this anytime I want to bring the room up. I remember even like when I think it was like Seinfeld it was either the night before their last one when they were doing like a clip show and they were dropping in off the wall stuff and people were just saying it was better than the last show because they were caught up in the tune.
In the music.
Yeah.
God, so insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And now, what's weird is Michael and Prince are like literally the same age. And Prince didn't, make an album until he was like, 18 or 19, where he played every single instrument. Took him a while to catch up. But there's other thing that said Michael there was a tape that he had of Prince, I think, falling off the stage or something in a sound check, and he would just replay it over and over and laugh.
Oh my God.
Because he felt the footsteps. First time in his life. He had somebody over his shoulder.
Who's that?
Who's that fucker coming on strong?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was L.A. Reid during a tour.
Oh yeah, L.A. Reid told that story because he was with his record company then.
Yeah, exactly. And also at that time, he flew out L.A. Reid to do to have a tour and be like, hey, I want to work with you. But at the same time, he was working with Michael Jackson's brother, and Michael Jackson was just like, oh, screw that guy. We're going to make a record first. Completely screwed over his brother, too.
I don't know who
I think it was Joe. Or Jermaine. I think it was Jermaine, yeah.
Jermaine would never do that.
Jermaine.
Yeah.
Love Jermaine.
What was the point of
favorite Jackson?
Is it?
I love young Jermaine Jackson.
Mine is Joe Sr., who punched all the children. He kept the kids moving. He kept it all on schedule.
He had a point.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He got a lot out of them. He got a lot more out of them than my dad ever got out of us. That's for sure.
Oh my God, let me see that young Jermaine. I love young Jermaine.
Oh, come on. That's a good
He's a heartthrob.
Is he the one that married the Berry Gordy's kid?
Yeah, I
he
think,
didn't go with the rest of the band?
Yeah.
Boy, the afro was the greatest look. I don't know why.
It is the sexiest.
I don't know why they turned it down. Yeah, Prince is the only one rocking it hard.
Questlove and Prince, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's the best look.
Well, Quest not only does that, but he does the thing that kids did in my neighborhood, is when you have an afro, keep the comb in your hair.
I love that.
You have the pick always ready to go.
Love to have that look back.
And also, you know who was kind of rocking it a little bit is Ice Cube's lookalike son.
Yeah, he had a light.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was his son when I was watching that movie. I was like, wow, what, they did, such a great job with makeup on this kid.
Yeah.
He's in the Grammys with his 5 rings. That was so weird.
What is his name? Sean? The kid's name?
O'Shea Jackson.
O'Shea.
Shay, get in here. You're going to play me in a movie.
Did you guys like that movie? I loved it. I thought it was great.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I think that the story is so compelling that they could have even been into that harder. Like, by the time Snoop Dogg shows up, I'm like, slow this down. This should be a miniseries.
Oh, that would have been amazing. Suge Knight, still terrifying.
They're talking about doing like the second one that's going to have Tupac and Biggie, and then pick up on the Chronic, like from the Chronic on.
Oh, wow.
Man.
I'll see that.
But you know what? The thing that got to me was like towards the end where they were talking about doing something. We really blew shit up there for a while. No matter how much you fight, if you did something, those are the only guys that remember. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like those people, you can fight forever, but it's like your family because you guys know what it was like to be in the inside.
Been through the shit together.
Yeah. Like Ringo was the only one who appreciated being the Beatles at all.
This is great, right, guys? I mean, this is pretty cool that we're in the Beatles.
You see our bobbleheads? They just came in. All right, we got to get rocking, but we always love having Bridget in.
Bridget Everett's new tour starts on Saturday, March 12th at the Wealthy Theater in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to bridgeteverett.net for dates and tickets. You can pick up her album, Pound It, available on Amazon and iTunes.
And hopefully soon she's going to cover I Don't Know Why I Love You, But I Do. That'll be...
Please.
That'll be... That actually does seem like it's in your wheelhouse now that I come to think of it, though. That might be perfect for you. All right, guys, we'll see you all again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!